the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, Halloween costumes our wives make us wear, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom, with me here each and every single week. The ladybug to my bumblebee, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
I know that there's some evidence to a bumblebee, but I have not seen any evidence to your ladybug costume.
Well,
so I give it.
No, there is no evidence because I've never actually done it. But your wife suggested it and even alluded to the fact that I might have to do that.
Yeah.
But thankfully, mine did not catch wind.
What you're alluding to is my lovely wife and I were bumblebees for a Halloween party for her sister's birthday.
Yes.
And we rocked that costume. We were, if you'd given us some Honey Nut Cheerios, we would have sold the shit out of them. It was.
That's the piece you were missing from the costume, was a box of Honey Nut Cheerios.
You know, I actually had gotten a box at one point when we were like putting the duct tape around my fucking fat ass and trying to see like where does the tape start on a bee. So my first reference was to go to a cereal box.
Yeah.
Like okay. Yeah.
Nice. And so I've kind of lost where I was, but what are we talking about today, David?
Did you do the hello bit?
I did.
Oh, okay. We have a Star Wars topic.
Yes, again.
Yes, I love it. And it's I don't have a good descriptor for it. It's a Dave Filoni inspired
and written by
and produced by. In Filoni we trust.
Indeed we do.
It's called the Tales of the Jedi series.
But we already talked about Tales of the Jedi. What are you talking about?
These are 15-minute shorts. little what I would call, think of it as the jab, right? And in 15 minutes you're getting like this little like, hey, wow, here's this character, and wham! It's just like this quick
yeah, and then before you know it, it's gone.
Yep, and it's like, what the fuck? What just happened?
Wham, bam, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, so I think, personally, I think the Tales of... spoiler alert, I really enjoyed it, and I think everyone else, we'll get into the details of it, but the fact that we're getting to talk about some stuff that casuals may not have seen before or talked about before, and I think that's great, so... Fucking Dave Filoni, we trust.
Yeah, for sure. All right. In the interim, do we want to talk about Patreon?
We don't talk about shit. You talk about Patreon.
I'm talking slow so I can get the Patreon read up.
I was like drawing out the whole rest of the thing, and you just were staring at me like I should have something ready. No, just gonna stare at him like
this has been weird. This whole setup today has just been like, it's like, fuck, I forgot my iPad. Fuck, I forgot Dave's ice. Fuck, I forgot this. It's just like running back and forth.
Because I was stuck in traffic and running late, and I got here.
But you think that would have given me more time to get all my shit together? But
no. It gave you more time to procrastinate, and then
that is true.
Then we were both late at that point,
right?
So
at the end of the day, it is your fault.
Sure,
all right.
I'll take this one. Patreon, go.
We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our patrons: David Schmuck, Brady Big Lovin', my wonderful mother-in-law Patricia Goodstein, Ivo G, Dragon Buddy. I saw Ivo G's post this weekend, by the way, too, where he tagged you and I think it was Nick in there. Yeah, good stuff.
That worked out well for him.
Indeed it did. Dragon Buddy, Shotgun Mark, Wally Frogmore, Frank Kalevich, Tony Ferrari, Kristen Roscom, Frederick Martin, Don Solsky, Lord Helmet Fire, Catherine Rennick, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, Nicholas Schaefer, and Nick from Swede Studios. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/the Sidebar Cantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this. Back to you, Dave.
I have some Red 5 headlines.
What you got?
So... I'm going to skim over it real quick because I'm going to, if I do it in a voice, that way I don't hit like a spot where it's like, oh, this is sad, and I shouldn't be doing it in a fun voice, because isn't that what I did last week?
Yeah.
It was like, I know your audience, dummy. So for Red 5 headlines, Tavern for Tommy.
Did she have a spelling error?
Listen, Lunar Girl was up. They had the 27 hours of this marathon. That
I'm 37?
almost.
Yeah.
And so it was Tavern for Tom. This Tavern for Tom update. We humbly thank each and every one of our followers who shared our posts this past week. Those of you who donated, and especially those of you who joined the Red 5 Tavern live chat through the 27 hours we were streaming. You kept us going. We felt the love, and faith in humanity has been replenished tenfold.
And we contributed an hour to the 27-hour stream as well.
You and your lovely wife.
Well, you participated a little bit.
Yeah, my fucking,
But we'll get into that when we get to my week.
we were able to collect a whopping $1,775,
Which is fucking awesome.
yeah, that is fantastic work by everyone involved. If you weren't able to donate but would still like to, the GoFundMe will remain open through the week. Luna Girl will be posting the link in the chat periodically through our episode. So yes, the Taver for Tommy.
It just sounds goofy.
Yeah, she look. She was. I had actually popped in for. I was up late, and I popped in for some of the later stuff, and you can tell, we're a little punch drunk, a little bit from being up so late. But yeah, that was good shit. Great that you could help out a fellow, Red 5 podcaster, and just friend.
Yeah.
To be able to help during something so tragic as losing your home in a fire. It's just fucking crazy. So
Yeah.
awesome.
So a couple of other things to get into before we talk about our weeks. First of all, our good friend, Nick, Big Swede,
Yeah.
Swede Studios,
Yeah.
Swede's Adventure, all that stuff. His band Explicit Noise premiered their music video over the weekend. It was supposed to be during the live stream, but YouTube had YouTube issues,
Right.
Copyright. And
Are we
blah,
not
blah, blah.
besmirching YouTube since we're like live streaming on YouTube right now?
Yeah, probably not the best idea.
Really?
But, I mean, what are they going to do? What the fuck are you going to do, YouTube?
Here, look at this. Look at this. See? Ooh, look at this. Ooh,
Not that we were ever going to get monetized anyway.
Yeah,
the language on this show alone is enough to get us permanently demonetized if that was ever a thing.
That shouldn't be a reason to demonetize somebody. You should just slap a fucking NC-17 rating on it and just fucking whoever wants to be involved in depravity, let it happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Nice and easy. Just let it happen.
Sounds like a date back in high school. Anyway, so yeah, the Explicit Noise, they're
Sounds like anal Jim.
good point. Just let it happen. Anyway, so he was able to release the video on Facebook. So for anybody who's in our private Facebook group, I think you posted it in there.
Yes.
You can follow Explicit Noise on Facebook.
Right. And it's on YouTube now.
Oh, it did make it to YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so he figured out
happened
some way
to-
to beat the system.
I opened my phone up middle of the day, and I think
Today?
it was posted on YouTube. Yeah, he
Sweet.
had a link out there. So
And yes, some friends are in there. You catch Dragon Buddy and Lunar Girl in there.
Yep.
You catch the top of my balding head. I'm watching the video. I'm like, fuck! I'm missing that much hair in the back too. God damn it!
see, what's funny is like, had you not said anything and you just like shaved your head again, nobody would know it was you. Honestly,
Right.
because there's no full frontal. It's just
Yeah. No, it's all like back shots,
Yep.
but you can see like the missing patches. I'm like, what the fuck? When did that happen?
Sorry, I wasn't taking flattering angles either.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I was in it. Lunar Girl and Dragon Buddy were in it. Didn't see Dave in it, but Miss Lopez
Right.
may have made an appearance.
Yes. Yes. She had an appearance, and some behind the scenes video was taken. So join our private Facebook group, and you can see some of the behind the scenes video.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
good shit.
Yeah, Dave was there behind the camera, just as he would like to be in said situations.
Yep.
And Nick did a fantastic job making my camera work to actually look like I was doing something.
Yeah, 90% of those shots was all the stuff that you filmed. So
Yeah.
well done.
Thanks.
If the podcasting thing doesn't work out, you might have a future in
No,
video.
no,
Okay.
not at all.
All right.
No, I'll take stills. The still shot at the end of the band, I take full credit for that one.
Yeah.
I can do stills. Video, I'll leave that to Helmet Fire.
All right, fair enough.
who hopefully is still is awake and is driving safe right now. He shouldn't be responding to anything, but Ms. Lopez is on crack. Nah, she'd have a lot more energy if that was the case.
No, if anything, it'd be cocaine, I think.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It is. And that's more of a Hollywood thing. You know, Miss Lopez is all about Hollywood. And, you know,
if she had a nose,
lifestyle.
how would she take it? Rectally?
I mean, yeah, I hear that's the most effective way,
Is it?
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I hear things soak right up. Just
That's how I should take my ibuprofen.
just stick it right up your ass.
Around my ass. It might actually be more effective that way.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember. But now I'm thinking about, ooh, if a day ever comes where I can do like marijuana, I can get some like edibles and stick them up my ass and see if that.
I feel like that's counterproductive.
How so?
The whole purpose of edibles is just to eat them.
Yeah.
You could probably... They probably make some sort of suppository. I don't know. I don't know drugs. Like, I'm not...
Chad, do they make marijuana suppositories?
Yes,
Let us know.
Yes, I'm sure somebody in the chat can help us out with this. Yeah, because I am the least educated person in non-pharmaceutical drugs.
Right. Yeah. No, we get enough of the legal pharmaceutical stuff
Yes.
in our line of work.
Piles.
That we don't need to add more controlled stuff on top of it. You all right there?
I did. Speaking of
You got lost in another universe for a second there.
I fell into a fold of dark matter just a moment ago. No, I was thinking back in time. CBD's. Oh, there you go. See, CBD suppositories is supposed to be good for anxiety. There you go.
Shit, we could all use some of that.
There you go.
All
See,
right.
we have been told. And sidebar of sidebars of this sidebar. I was watching baseball, World Series, right? And during the World Series, they have a fucking advertisement for CBD. Like,
No shit.
they're the official CBD oil of fucking Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Like, wait a minute, did I hear that right?
So this is an interesting conversation because Kristen and I were talking about this. It was more me talking and her just listening and hoping I would shut up. But
That's usually how it goes.
I almost feel like, do you think one of the main reasons why they haven't, fully legalized it, taking it off of the federal list and all that stuff is because there's like an alcohol lobby that's potentially keeping it down? Because think about it, like, if my understanding, anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, marijuana is far safer and far better for your body than fucking drinking alcohol. I would imagine it gives you similar effects, similar like euphoric effects,
Right.
And it would be a direct competitor to the alcohol industry. Do you think the alcohol lobby is keeping marijuana down?
I don't think it's the alcohol lobby. I think it's more of a pharmaceutical thing.
But wouldn't those fuckers just start making their own shit? Wouldn't like Johnson & Johnson, as soon as it becomes legal, be like, oh, we've got the J&J fucking weed pills, and we've mixed it with NyQuil, so take some weed NyQuil pills. It'll fucking make you feel good, and you'll knock right the fuck out.
CBD and NyQuil, shit, that could very well be the next phase of it.
I mean, I would imagine that the pharmaceuticals would jump all over it if it got legalized. Yes, it might like eat into some of their like painkiller fucking business, but
listen, really, without delving too deep into this conversation, because it'll go into politics, and we don't do that here. The reality is that there is a fundamentally flawed issue with the prison system and how the Schedule I drugs are prosecuted, and then what happens to the people that are imprisoned for certain things, and then, like how the drug trafficking and everything else. There's like these huge implications into
because of the implication,
right? So, regardless, eventually it's going to happen. Eventually it's going to happen. I think alcohol's got they got their own good thing, because for at least another generation or two, there'll still be a drug stigma. even if it is legalized, there's still be
Yeah.
like a drug stigma where it's like, come on, man, keep your pot away from me, man. Right? You still have those people that are just like they'll look at this
Why do the anti-pot people sound like potheads? I don't understand.
because they're making fun of potheads, right?
Okay.
Like I'm the guy making fun of the pothead, right? No, because the pothead would just be like, I don't care what you think, man, and then yeah, man, you pothead, man. I don't know. I just whatever.
I'm totally lost right now.
Do I need Jennifer to explain it to you?
Well, again, this is why we're the Sidebar Cantina, because we go off on these weird sidebars.
We haven't even made it past the explicit noise music video premiere.
No, but I think we're ready to move on from that and move into the day in Star Wars.
Yeah,
you ready to
we
do that?
should do that.
So we have a day in Star Wars. It's not today because the one for today was dumb. It was like, fucking Attack of the Clones gets re-released in theaters or some shit like that from like years ago. I'm like, eh. But the one for tomorrow, November 1st in 1994.
94. It's been a minute
Yeah.
since we had a 94.
Yeah. So on November 1st, 1994, after dropping his kids off at school, George Lucas arrives at his home office to begin writing the screenplay for Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
And so it began.
Yes, and there's actual video footage in that documentary about Episode 1 of him walking into his office with a fucking big legal pad and a fucking sharpened pencil and just like, all right, now I just need an idea, and starts writing. Which that's the part that always kills me. You know, it's like, motherfucker, you've been telling people for years that this shit was already done, that you've already had the whole story all lined up in your fucking head.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, November 1st, 94, when you've got a fucking date of 999, 94. You know, you've got a fucking hard date of May of 99. Now all of a sudden you're putting fucking pen to paper?
Listen, man, writing's hard. Like, writing is hard. You can have like a clear and decisive, like you can have go into your notes and be like, oh man, here's all these talking points I'm going to have, and here's all the characters and also the shit, and you're like, fuck, I gotta turn that into something that people are going to actually want to fucking go and see,
Yeah.
and not want to throw spears at me. And then he chose to not do that, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about that.
But either way, that was the kickoff for the prequel trilogy, and yes, it had its bumps, its hiccups.
George spent a lot of money building Industrial Light and Magic and creating Jar Jar, so he probably didn't have a private driver. He most likely had a Volkswagen that he was driving his kids back and forth to school in.
Yeah.
I 100% believe it. Come on, man.
Well,
Drive my kids to school, man.
Well, didn't the fucker have to go into bankruptcy after Howard the Duck? Like, because he made all the money with the OG trilogy,
Right.
And then like put like all of his ducks into fucking Howard the Duck. No pun intended, I guess. And like lost a shitload of money. Had to end up selling off part of like fucking ILM, which ended up becoming Pixar, to make some money and blah blah blah. So apparently he was not good with his money in the early days.
Apparently not.
Yeah. So
Apparently, Howard the Duck is
that,
so
which was a
bad.
great movie, a fucking fantastic movie. Which
Yeah.
we haven't talked about that on the show
We
yet.
have not.
I wonder if it's got an anniversary coming up. Sidebar.
We missed it. We missed the anniversary.
Did we?
Yes.
No.
We were going to do it this past summer, and then we zigged back.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. It was 86 is when it was released. 86. So like last year would have been a decent anniversary. Last year would have been 35. Fucking hell. Where the hell did our lives go?
Back that way.
Yeah.
That way.
Clearly.
Here's the timeline. It's that way.
All right. So that's our day in Star Wars.
It's why do we do this to ourselves when we know, like, oh, 8 o'clock the fucking World Series starts. We'll be done plenty of time.
Yeah, all right.
Like, we don't have much to talk about.
All right. Well, let's move into our weeks then, shall we?
Let's.
All right. So, at first I had some Black Series figures lined up for this slot in my week, but then I get a text from Kristen while I'm at work today, and she's like, "Did you order a Sega Genesis?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's right." Because if you remember, of course the sticker's in like the worst fucking spot, but the Sega Genesis Mini came out a couple years ago. Same as like the NES minis and all
Right.
that like an officially Sega released bit. And I got it. This is the Sega Genesis Mini 2. This has a bunch of new games on it. It's got a bunch of Sega CD games on it. And it just released a few days ago.
Huh.
And I completely forgot. Like, I pre-ordered this thing back in like July and completely forgot about it because Sega was playing it off like, oh, we're only going to do a limited run of this one because the first Genesis Mini, they printed 1 billion of them, like far more than Nintendo did for the NES Classic or the SNES Classic.
Yeah, they kind of overcorrected.
Right. So what Sega did was they printed a shitload of the Genesis Mini, and now they're like, oh, we're not printing nearly as many of the Genesis 2. So they're like, all right, let's do this. Anyway, so I pre-ordered the thing back in July and just fucking forgot about it. And then Kristen sends me a text today. She's like, what the hell is this? I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So there you go. I now have the Sega Genesis Mini 2 still in the box.
Super Street Fighter 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Brazil.
Splatterhouse 2.
Yeah. A lot of sequels to games that were in the first Genesis Mini.
Yeah.
But again, this one has a lot of Sega CD games, which
What was the TurboGrafx game?
Bonk's Adventure?
No. It was like Splatterhouse.
I think it was Splatterhouse. Yeah. Well, Splatterhouse was fucking great. The dude in the hockey mask with the fucking 2x4 just beating the shit out of everything. Yeah. Fucking brutal.
Yeah. We need to, like, hey, somebody get on that. Remake that shit.
Yeah.
Today's graphics on the Xbox X, holy shit.
I feel like there was a remake in the last handful of years of that. Maybe.
Ooh, chat, look that up for us.
Yeah. We don't have time. We're going on too many sidebars. We got too much to get to before the World Series. So all right, now I have some additions to
the Sacred Jedi Black Series.
Every time.
I know. So first of all, we've got an old friend, Bib Fortuna. This is Thin Bib from Return of the Jedi, not
obese Bib.
Yeah, portly Bib from Mandalorian.
God, he's ugly.
He is, but and they catch all of the ugly in the details.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like, God.
Yeah, he was
you could see him drooling.
Yeah, he was on like super sale on Amazon last week, like $15 or something. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna not buy it. So very good.
No wonder Twi'leks bang humans.
Yeah. Also from Return of the Jedi. This was one of my favorite toys from the original Star Wars lines growing up, and it's fucking Leia in her bounty hunter disguise.
Yes.
Now, this is unfortunately in one of the like I didn't realize it was in this packaging when I got it. It's in one of the re-release packages. Plus, the package is all beat the fuck up, so this one's probably going to get opened soon.
Well, yeah, because of course you would open it.
Yeah, but it's Leia in the Bosch disguise,
Yeah.
and I had the toy as a kid.
Me too.
With the helmet that came off, and for some reason I always loved that toy. And this one looks fucking incredible.
Yeah,
and
the detail on it is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Yeah, her face is good.
Yeah, in fact, I have a 3 3/4 inch, I think,
Cock.
re-release.
Oh,
So smart.
So small.
The re-release, like, still carded of the Bosch figure.
Oh, no
With her
shit.
as Bosch figure, yeah.
sweet.
I don't have my original one, but they did a re-release of it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
I
for
remember
an
when-
anniversary.
Right, I remember when they were doing that.
Yeah, so I have it. It's in my Star Wars collection that is in storage right now.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, one more Black Series figure
Ho, ho, ho.
from Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have another Inquisitor, the fifth brother.
Smart one.
Didn't he die?
They all died.
Well, the Grand Inquisitor lived, despite, taking one to the gut.
Well, I mean,
But I feel like this guy, the fifth brother,
he was the one that kept trying to fucking keep old girl from doing dumb shit.
you know what? I think I don't remember. I can't keep track of all the goddamn Inquisitors. But yeah, that's my Black Series haul for the week.
I love it.
Yep, good times. So we talked about the Tavern for Tom, the 24-hour live stream, 24+ hour live stream that happened over the weekend.
Right.
So representing the Sidebar Cantina, Kristen and I did a 1 hour live stream. We did a topic of her choosing.
Right.
And I don't know if you caught wind of anything that we talked about.
Well, no, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I knew you guys were like, it was like, what, fuckable or worst in beds or something like that?
Yeah, so she wanted to do like an old school, like all things Star Wars style show where we did a top 5 list and everything, and she wanted to talk something Star Wars. So I'm like, well, give me a couple of ideas. And one of the ideas she threw out was top 5 characters who are probably terrible in bed. Star Wars characters.
Right.
And I'm like, that's the one. And we went with it, and it was a lot of fun, a good fun discussion. We killed about 45 minutes of the stream with that with that portion.
Nice.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So go back and watch. It was at the sorry. It was at the 9 a.m. mark, so the 9-hour mark. If you go back and look at the 27-hour video.
Okay.
Fast forward to the 9-hour portion for ours. And there was a cameo by Dave in the beginning of that stream. Apparently caught him on the can.
No, you caught me in the shower.
So okay, why did you answer the phone?
All right. So I knew you guys were doing the stream.
Uh-huh.
Right? And I figured you don't use the phone. Like you don't
No, I hate the phone. I hate making phone calls.
You don't make phone calls. So I'm like, fuck, something must be up. Like maybe it was like an issue with the equipment. Maybe it was like a sound thing. Maybe they're having like some login issues. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fuck, they're doing it. They're live right now. If they're having an issue, I figured I'd answer it so I could help.
Right.
Of course not. Like, what was I thinking? Like, no, it's
we just called you to talk.
Yeah.
Well, because we were talking about the World Series. That's right. We started off talking about the World Series because the first game was the night before.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh, I wonder what Dave thought about it. Well, let's call him and find out.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah. Well, Dave's standing in the shower. No shower beer. It
was 9 a.m.
Yeah,
so I would hope not. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I'm considering releasing that as like a bonus episode of the audio.
Yeah, why not?
As a bonus episode of the show. But I'm like 2 weeks behind on the audio again. Like as soon as I got all that shit pushed, I like stopped posting audio again. So I need to fucking catch back up, and it's a whole thing.
This is Halloween.
I got to be in the right mindset. The last thing I have is right before you got here today, one of the reasons why I was a little frazzled and running a little behind was because I had to make a quick stop at the store to get my Powerball tickets. Because Powerball is tonight. $1 billion.
$1 billion
is the jackpot. So if you never hear from me again, dear listeners, you'll probably know why. But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what would I do? Like, how would I like address things on the podcast if I won? Like, would we just? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck we'd do. Like, there's so many questions. Like, because theoretically, $1 billion jackpot. It's only going to be like 600 or 700 million if you take the lump sum, and then like chop that in half for taxes. So you're really looking at like 300 million, which is still nothing to cry about.
Right.
So it's like, what do you legitimately do? Like, where would you go? Like, if you were handed $350 million, where would you go? What would you do?
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I've run that through my head. Like, my initial instinct is, like, buy a house in the middle of fucking nowhere, Montana, build up my fucking bunker, my end of society fucking bunker, and just be, make sure, like, call up Verizon being like, you will run a fucking fiber line to my shelter.
Get your own Starlink satellite.
Nah, the upload on the satellite shit, it's too bad. You can't.
Yeah, but if you have your own...
I'll get my own satellite, call up Elon and be like, hey, after you're done with fucking Twitter, like shoot up another thing just for me.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm back on Twitter. It's been fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious since he bought it.
I haven't looked at... I only go on Twitter for while I'm like during games, right? During Eagles games, during Phillies games, because that's where I'm posting commentary. If I'm going to post commentary about the game at all, it's going to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I want to see the commentary that's happening. it's my contribution to the rest of the fan base, because that honestly that's where most of the people are doing it anyway. You know, you can't do it on Instagram or Facebook. It's just not fast enough.
Yeah.
So, but everything else, I'm not looking at Twitter. I don't even get notifications. So, although the Red 5 network is heavily into the old Twitter.
Yeah. So anyway, if I just disappear starting tomorrow, you'll know why. But I don't foresee that happening. What are you doing?
Answering a very strange fucking
Ivo?
yeah.
It was an interesting comment.
Yeah.
Luna Girl brought up a good comment. So technically what you're saying is you were on the show naked on Saturday.
I mean,
That's a visual.
yeah. Wet and naked. Glistening. Glistening.
So how about your week?
Besides being glistening in the shower, Jason?
Yes, and talking to us on the phone.
Well, we are in the midst of the World Series.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I hear Philly sports teams are doing really well right now.
As a matter of fact, we are.
Yeah.
Which is why in my notes I say, prepare to meet your makers, because the apocalypse is coming.
Yeah.
And yes, Dragon Buddy, you should go shower. Yes, the apocalypse is upon us. The Eagles are undefeated still.
Yeah.
The Phillies are, it's a even Steven right now with the Astros, and they're playing tonight in Philly. It's supposed to rain a little bit. I think the Astros are not used to being wet and playing baseball.
They're from Texas, so yeah.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, so I didn't realize one of my coworkers educated me on the history of the Astros. Apparently they're big fucking cheaters. Apparently they're the Patriots of fucking Major League Baseball.
Yeah, the whole 2017 World Series and cheating, a bunch of people so there's this whole thing with bring Dusty Baker in for legitimacy, and most of his players and staff are all gone, and it's a whole new franchise. And look, they're a good baseball team. Yeah. They're legitimately a good baseball team. But the motherfuckers in game one, right? Casually, I'm watching game 2 of the World Series, and Fox is like, oh, blah, 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 blah. John fucking Smoltz, Braves fans that are out there. First of all, I hate the fucking Braves. I hate the fucking... that makes me... It's fucking awful. I hate the fucking Braves. And having to listen to John Smoltz is almost as bad as I almost want Joe Buck.
Wow.
That's how bad. John Smoltz wants to tell everybody how fucking I was a pitcher. I'm going to describe every arm angle and spin. That's nonstop. That's all he says. He can't not say the word spin. like spin. It's like I am Groot for fucking baseball.
Right.
It's the most annoying fucking thing. He doesn't grasp the idea that sometimes in baseball, you can just not talk. Just let the crowd give you an idea of what's going on in the game. That's the beauty of baseball on the radio. Just a moment of just the crowd being into the fucking game. Yeah. Not your dumb fucking Atlanta Braves John Smoltz ass just talking to hear yourself talk because I was a major league pitcher and I'm an all-star in the Hall of Fame. Just fuck you, dude. Can't stand it.
Oh, sidebar. I had a coworker today tell me that if you ever met Mike Schmidt in person, he would drop to his knees and suck his dick right then and there.
I mean,
he's a Philly fan, obviously.
I mean, he is the greatest third baseman ever.
He was trying to tell me that today too.
Yeah. Michael Jack Schmidt. He was doing an autograph thing yesterday, and people were in line for all day.
Yeah.
I would like to have that autograph. I don't know about the sucking dick though. I think it's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got old balls. Might be a little off-putting.
I would think the whole situation would be off-putting, but that's just me.
I mean,
what do I know?
Anyway,
Moving on.
anyway,
Had you even made your point about the World Series yet?
No, I don't think I have. Now I don't remember what my point is because you brought up sucking Mike Schmidt's dick.
Yeah.
And now I'm confused.
That's what we do on the show.
What is happening?
Yeah. Hey, hold on.
Mike Schmidt, who is throwing out the first pitch tonight in Philly.
Oh, nice. Stick up your right arm real quick. Okay,
It's
so
wearing off.
Yeah, I saw you with that like last week, and then when we were at Nick's house. You had that on at Nick's house too, right? I'm sitting there thinking because it was so clear and so colorful. I'm like, did Dave get a tattoo? And I didn't want to bring it up because I'm like, fuck. If he did, he would have told me.
Yeah.
So I'd be an asshole if like he did get one and I just forgot. So I didn't bring it up. And then I saw it on the show again last week and I'm like, fuck, he got a tattoo because it still looked clear as day.
Yeah.
On your arm. And then just now I noticed that it was like wearing off. I'm like, okay, that wasn't a real tattoo.
I honestly, I think I'm really going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Squirrel.
The World Series, 8 o'clock tonight in Philly. The place is going to be fucking rocking, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Phillies in 7. I think it's the Astros are a good baseball team.
Yeah.
No. Here's the point I was trying to make. You brought up the cheating thing.
Yeah.
So one of the batters, who apparently has been in a hitting slump, he asked Albert Pujols, like, "Hey, I've been in a slump. Do you have any pointers?" And Pujols sends him a bunch of bats. Right? He's like, here, this is the same bat company that I used. Try out some of my bats. Mm-hmm. Right? So he goes in game 1 and he's playing with these bats. Well, come to find out, they were fucking illegal bats.
What's illegal about them?
So they changed the specification in the bat so that that particular bat was no longer legal. Like some specification of the bat.
Okay.
But because Pujols started using that bat prior to 2010, when they changed the rule, he was grandfathered in. So he was able to still use that same model bat. But when he gave it to somebody else to use, they couldn't use that bat because they weren't grandfathered in.
Right.
But nobody fucking caught it. Like none of the umpires or anything else until game 2. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, they cheated yesterday and used the wrong fucking bat. Just like, no.
Well, thank God the Phillies won that game.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine if they lost and then they came out and said that?
Hey, hit an RBI too.
Wow.
But whatever. They fucking what is happening?
I don't know.
About Eagles fans? Yeah, you better act like a professional. There.
Stay on target.
Yeah. Sidebar. Ivo G, who is our amazing Bulgarian contingent of the Sidebar Cantina, he actually does the commentary for his country for NFL football, and
which is awesome.
Did the Steelers Eagles, and he is a Steelers fan,
right?
So I'm sure it killed him to have to say anything good about the Eagles.
Yeah, but I mean, you couldn't not see that coming either. Like the Steelers are not the greatest team this year, and the Eagles apparently are a great team this year. So
there's a lot of things that the Eagles have going for them right now, and it's really, really hard to not be excited.
Yeah.
Like I'm as pessimistic as anybody, and I'm just like, fuck. But it was super relaxing just to sit there and be like, it's nice. They're not stressing me out at all. Saturday was a shit show because fucking Penn State almost pretended like they were going to play football against Ohio State, and then they fucking lost.
And I know how you feel about Ohio State.
Motherfuckers. Stupid suck eyes. And the Phillies lost game 2. But you take one on took game 1. That's what you have to do.
Which I think your exact words were, it took years off your life.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it did. It went to extra innings. Game 1, extras. They came back from a 5-0 deficit.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted just thinking about it. But anyway, more World Series tonight.
All right.
It's a good time to be a Philly fan. But yeah, if the Eagles somehow keep their shit together and go to the promised land, and the Phillies somehow go to the promised land also in the same year, there's going to be a giant fucking, just the moon's going to fall into the earth. It's
Kiss your ass goodbye.
yeah, it's going to be bad, folks. Even the Major League Soccer team, the Union, is in the finals.
Wow.
So
What you got there? Is that
I got me some of the
sacred Jedi
pops? Ooh.
Here's one of the
Ooh, that's a good one.
Power of the Galaxy.
So this is Sabine with a Darksaber.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to see the Darksaber in the packaging there, but aw. Sabine with helmet. Power of the Galaxy. I don't know what that is. Amazon exclusive.
Yeah, there's been a couple of them that have brought in, like the Padme Amidala one.
Mm-hmm. Padamame or whatever her name is.
Yeah. There was another one. I don't know where it went, though. As I talk away from the microphone.
Yeah, it's fine. You're drifting, Dave.
Oh, it's this one.
Oh, no, Jen Urso. Okay. Yeah.
So, apparently it's a, girl power series, which is fine.
Yeah. Do you think they have Spice Girls pops? Girl power.
They probably do, honestly. Nick had made a comment at one point about the music pops, and he's like, man, you really don't have many music pops. This is when we had, kind of pre-ordered the Metallica stuff.
Yeah.
And, next thing you know, all the music pops. There's so many of them now.
Yeah.
It's, fucking ridiculous. Everything from Britney Spears to fucking probably your boots and Dunham or whatever.
Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah, there you go.
Cadillac, black jacket down, boot, skirt, and boogie. We were singing a lot of country tunes before we went live today.
Uh-huh.
Or at least I was.
Yeah.
Heel toe, do come on.
Scarif After Dark is in the house.
Ah.
Whose Lyft is almost there to pick her up.
Oh,
Wow. People
Party
still
time.
use Lyft?
I guess.
I mean, I think most people use Uber as a verb.
True.
More so than the company.
Yeah. But it's good to have competition, too.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't want a monopoly.
Capitalism at its finest. So, got the pops. Went to Goodwill this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. And now when I go to Goodwill with Kathy, I am immediately looking for fucking where they got the Legos hiding.
Uh-huh.
Because they put them behind the glass cases with the fucking electronics and everything else. Because it's, you get a ball. It looks like they fill
Like a big
trash
plastic,
bag,
big plastic trash bag.
and it's formed into a basketball size ball of Legos.
Mm-hmm.
And it had two bags there, and the one bag, it had just a random assortment of stuff. I could see the Lego Friends in there, and whatever. And then the other bag, it had some sets in there that were still in the packaging. You could see the numbers in the packaging. So I'm looking at it, and the woman who had opened the counter, and this is Kathy, if she's listening, this is what she would be jumping in to give me shit about. So I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively do it.
Uh-huh.
The woman asked me, she's like, oh, are you getting these to sell them? I was like, no, I'm actually, I build with them. What she asked me, do I, build with them or do I sell them? I said, no, I build them, but I'm also saving these for grandkids and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Kathy thinks, she's like, you're full of shit. They're just for you to play with. That's not true.
Well, that's my thing with the Black Series, right? I'm making a collection for when I have grandkids. We have these to play with.
I yearn for the day that I can sit down and just take a fucking Tupperware thing of Legos and the sound of cascading Legos hitting the floor.
Take hours to clean up.
Yeah, and just fucking building shit.
Mm-hmm.
So said packaging that I received shit for, but it literally, you go to Goodwill, you get this giant bag. I think it was $34 on the tag with military discount and everything else, it was like $30. Mm-hmm. Right, $30 for this giant thing of Legos, which we all know, the proverbial we,
Yes.
every nerd that's listening knows how fucking expensive Legos are.
Yeah.
So getting any amount of Legos for $30 is a good deal, right? Mm-hmm. So I start sorting. I put the Legos out. I'm starting to sort through. There was some fakes in there that I had to start sorting out, getting those clones out of there.
Oh, the Mega Blocks.
No. I'm talking Lego brick clones. That are
Clone Troopers.
No, I'm talking about cloned bricks. They look like regular Lego bricks, but they're not Legos.
Right, like Mega Blocks.
No, they're not. There's more. There's different brands of clones.
That's the only other brand I know of.
Trust me, there's others.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Trust me. Trust me on this. That's why, when you look at a Lego brick, it has Lego
On each of the little notches, yeah.
On each of the nipples, and and on the flat pieces, you can find it. There's always the trademark on it. Mm-hmm. And then if you find a cloned one or one of the ripoff ones, they can have markings on them, but they won't be Lego.
Right.
So it's a whole thing.
So it's like Wish.com version of Legos.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm separating those out, and then the Lego Friends one, we were actually going to go. We went and saw our friend John.
Oh.
Kathy and I went up there, and we carved pumpkins with his family.
Yeah.
Well, we watched them carve pumpkins and just got his daughter all riled up. So I'm sure they had a really tough time getting her to bed.
Nice.
Because I was like, we got to go. I got the World Series to watch.
After you fed her a bunch of candy and shit.
No candy. It didn't take candy. It's just hey, do you want to run around in circles somewhere? Like, like you do.
Yep. Kids are great when they're not yours.
Exactly. So anyway, all the Lego Friends stuff, I put in a bag and gave to her because she, being John's kid, there's always a Lego project on their dining room table.
Nice.
They're constantly building stuff with Legos, so I know they'll go to a good home. But anyway, I say all that to say this: in the midst of that basketball size thing of Legos was a jackpot of fucking minifigures, yellow-headed minifigures. So probably, I don't know. There's probably $60 worth of minifigures in there.
Sweet.
Yeah, and one of the minifigures that was in there, a more modern one, was the Moana.
Oh yeah, the Disney.
Yeah, the guy that plays the Rock. Uh-huh. The minifig was this big. It was huge.
Has it got the tribal tattoo and everything?
Oh yeah,
nice.
But it was huge, and I gave that to Emma as well. But that one alone is $25.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So.
How does this shit get so expensive?
It's because it's Legos.
Says the guy who paid $100 for a single Black Series figure, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly. I say all that again to say this: it's worth going. If you can go to a swap meet or fucking flea market,
Goodwill,
farmers market, Goodwill, whatever, and you see Legos, you should snatch them up. You don't know what that pile is going to go in there. Wash them. I would definitely wash them. Mm-hmm. But go in there and fucking, if you have Lego pieces, and if you don't use them, give them to, you have kids in your somewhere near you that have Legos. I know you do. And you can give them. And the fake ones, give to the neighbors you don't like or somebody. I don't know.
Put them in a little bag and give them out at Halloween.
Hear that? Give the clones out for fucking Halloween.
I'm a fucking genius.
Well, give them all out at once. Just here, have all these Legos, because it's probably raining and kids aren't going to be out. Plus, it's dark. Are they even allowed out in the dark? Kids allowed out in the dark these days?
Well, these days probably not.
Anyway, Lego jackpot. Speaking of Legos, for my birthday, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or anything else, I got a sweet Harold Carmichael Eagles jersey. Harold Carmichael, Hall of Fame wide receiver from the 1980s. Super Bowl attending team. Shut up, Brady. Thankfully, he left. But yeah, the whole reason for that, like, it was a sentimental thing with Howard Carmichael, because my like first Eagles jersey was a Howard Carmichael jersey, and you can see me with my little bowl haircut and
nice.
circa 1980 or whatever, and have the Eagles number 17 on it. So I put that picture side by side. So now I've got this. It's a Mitchell and Ness fucking perfect. It's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. And I wore it yesterday with the Eagles win. So they're 1-0 with the Howard Carmichael jersey on. So
excellent.
continue to be undefeated. And I got Slave One, otherwise known as the Boba Fett's ship.
Right. No longer called Slave One by Disney.
Right. And
But we all know what it is.
And it's the Boba Fett series, like the Mandalorian 2.5 series.
Yeah.
It's that version, because the Boba Fett minifig is obviously that version.
Right.
And it comes with a Mando also.
Yeah.
Comes on with a Mando with the spear and a cape.
Nice.
It's got a sweet cape.
Did you ever get the Razor Crest? Rip.
No. Dude, those are fucking expensive.
The Razor Crest?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sad face.
Yeah, even the non-UCS ones are fucking expensive.
It was gone too soon.
Yeah. Well, maybe another series, maybe it comes back. I still think, go back to our fucking our review of those episodes, and I still think that it's ridiculous for him to be flying around in a fighter this whole thing, but whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
I need to make that as a dump on the fucking soundboard.
Yeah, you'd be constantly playing it. But I'll tell you what, that Slave One build was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah?
It was a great build.
Did you take pictures?
I took a couple, but so what I ended up doing was after dinner, after we had cake and stuff, I kind of went downstairs and got everything out and started sorting it.
This was on your birthday.
On my birthday.
Yeah.
And started sorting it and put on Tales of the Jedi, which we're going to talk about here.
Oh, right. We actually do have a main topic today.
Really
Go
soon.
An hour into the show and no sign of the main topic yet.
as like we do.
That's our thing. It's what we do.
But yeah, I put on Tales of the Jedi and was watching that while I was like sorting out all the pieces, and I did that and then caught up on Andor.
Oh, I am not caught up. I have not seen the last 2 episodes yet. So this week we're gonna like hammer through all 3 of them.
Yeah, because that's next week for us.
Correct.
But yeah, I put together Slave One. It took me about it took legitimately 3.5 hours.
Damn.
To build. So it was a good build. Now, granted, I'm also watching fucking Tales of the Jedi as I'm doing it. So there's probably some time span built into that, but I really these days appreciate a good technical build that Lego does. Like these foundational pieces and what they're trying to do, and I'm just getting more and more into that level of it. Because I'm right now I'm piecing together, like, because of the GW Lego find, I have a lot of isolated random pieces, and I'm trying to build a UCS TIE fighter, and I have the plans for it.
Yep. You just need the pieces.
So I have the parts list. I have it in Brickland, and I have the parts listing. So I'm basically I had, Kathy's kind of making fun of me. I have just a pile of Legos, and I'm just sorting. Like, okay, how many of these? Okay, go on the thing, click, 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 click. Okay, how many more of those do I need? If I can put them in the bin, and I'm just like isolating out all the parts I need.
Yeah.
And I took apart one of those TIE fighters because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I could use off of that. Because every piece that I can salvage, that's, one brick I don't have to buy.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that build. That's kind of like the, I guess my holy grail right now of the TIE fighters, Lego TIE fighters, is that UCS build. It's really the last one.
The Sacred Jedi Legos.
That's right. It should be. We gotta figure something else.
Yeah. Get like Lunar Girl to record something.
Right. Yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, that's my my week.
Alrighty. Do you need a break or anything before we get into our main topic?
No, I'll just pee in the middle of it. That's
All
fine.
right. And just keep in mind, folks, we do have to make this a little bit more brief this week because Dave has to get home for the World Series. But Tales of the Jedi. Not to be confused with the comic books that I've, raved about over the years, because for those of you who don't remember, Tales of the Jedi was a comic book series.
Right.
That was one of the first stories, in fact, the first story to go back and start talking about the old Republic era. Again, we're talking Legends material now. This is in the 90s when this came out.
Right.
But I fucking loved it. And the Tales of the Jedi series is one of the big things that got me back hardcore into Star Wars in the early 90s. Between that and the Thrawn trilogy, I was like, I'm back, baby.
I'm
you
back.
know, after 10 years of, flirting with He-Man and G.I. Joe and all that stuff. I went back to my roots. They got their claws back in me. So
Blame it on their boots.
blame it on the boots.
Now you're really mixing up, dude. Like three things,
Yeah.
three different things.
Anyway, but this is not that comic book series, but they use the exact same logo and everything, the same fucking font, all of it. Just totally different stories.
Yeah, I think that was deliberate.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Little nod to those of us like me
Right.
who,
and like I said in the beginning of the show, one thing before we get into spoilers for individual episodes.
Oh, yeah,
because-
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you say it 3 times, you really mean it.
Yeah.
That's it's a scientific fact.
Or spoiled juice will show up and
Right.
cause all kinds of chaos.
Right. You get headless. There'll be knives and gloves. Wait, what are we talking about?
I have no idea. You said before we get into it. Oh, we're doing this. Actually, this has been a long time since you've done this. Go back and listen to the early episodes of All Things Star Wars. Dave would distract me randomly throughout the show with the opening of the Diet Coke and pouring it into the glass sound.
Sounds better when it's hitting the glass, but
Yeah.
we'll make do.
Yeah. We've had to change a lot of what we do in the show.
Yeah, we're getting older.
Yeah.
Have to make adjustments.
Can't drink anymore. Sad face.
Sad face. Anyway, like I said in the beginning of the show, I think Tales of the Jedi what I really enjoyed about it is it's giving the casual, the more, not necessarily the super casual movie only viewer, but somebody who is watching Rebels, watching Clone Wars.
Yeah, watching all of the actual like cinematic stuff, but not reading the books,
Right.
comics, the audiobook exclusive stuff.
Right.
Not
Doing all that, but it gives them a little like snippet of some stuff that we've already kind of encountered these stories,
or
some gist thereof,
yeah.
and
Yeah, in the case of Dooku especially, we haven't seen any of these things happening directly. At least I don't think this stuff was covered. But like the Ahsoka, especially the last episode, that's essentially a retelling of the Ahsoka novel
yeah,
that we covered. 2 years ago now.
I don't even.
It's been a while. It's been a while. But
What?
what?
Why would you do that? Why?
What? Backyard TARDIS in the chat mentioned giving away all of their Star Wars Legos.
Oh no!
Oof.
That's not a good day.
It's sacrilege, I think, is what that
It's a
is.
sad day.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sad day.
day of mourning.
Um,
So anyway, yeah, as you mentioned at the top of the show, each episode is approximately 15 minutes long, give or take a minute. And this is the thing, too, that I've noticed about like watching Andor and all this stuff on Disney Plus. They say it's like, because it'll even be in like the show description, right? Like Andor, 48 minutes. What they don't tell you is like 3 minutes is the intro and like 8 minutes is the fucking credits.
Yeah.
So
Because they're doing credits in like 4 different languages.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
So chop a lot of that off.
Right.
And you get the same thing with these. These are realistically they're like 10 minutes long each.
Right.
But you got like all the fucking credits at the end. All of them written by Dave Filoni, obviously, because they're all done in the Clone Wars style of animation. Like you might as well just pluck these right out of a fucking Clone Wars episode.
So, saying that, buzz. What happened? Oh, saying that, I feel like it was more. I don't remember the Clone Wars being so like artsy.
Yeah, so
It seems like there was more of a treatment to a lot of it.
well,
You know
I'll
what I
say
mean?
this. Yeah, no, I know exactly where you're going with this. The character models and the way the characters walk and move and interact, those are all very Clone Wars like. But everything else, like the scenery,
Right.
it seems like a lot more detail than
Yeah,
even
there's
in like
detail,
the
and
Clone-
even when if you like look at it close, because I watched it on my fucking monitor. You know, I've got that curved monitor, and I'm watching it like this close. You know, my face is right there. I'm like Legos face monitor,
yeah,
and I'm like looking at. It's almost like a chalk.
like the
drawing.
backgrounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's there in chalk, and even like some of the the tattooing and the face markings of what we see in the Life and Death episode with baby Ahsoka. You know, it's just there's just like a little. It's almost like a dreamy type thing, where it's like, I don't know. It's just it's a lot artsier. I keep coming back to that word, but it's not the right one
Yeah.
that I'm searching for. But it's definitely it has its own it has its own flavoring to it.
Sure.
Like it's familiar, yet it's different.
Okay, I can see that. Actually, you know what? I do know what you're talking about. Like you get a lot of like cell shaded effects with some of these characters and like some of the shadows and the ways that I'm not sure you even know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I can definitely see some unique artistic takes in a lot of what they're doing with this. But it's all good. Like at no point during any of this did I say like, oh, that looks like shit, or oh,
Agreed.
That's crap.
No, 100%. When I'm describing for the visuals, it's not something that took away from it. It's just something I appreciated more. Like this is a 15-minute air quote thing that they spent a lot of time on.
Yeah,
Because that level of detail requires time.
sure.
You know, and it's not just that, hey, let's fucking run the code for Clone Wars. Because I just don't remember seeing that level of detail in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And maybe I missed it.
Well,
So I wasn't watching it like this.
True, you were building Legos at the same time. So, yeah, and again, all of them written by Dave Filoni because a lot of these are his characters. Ahsoka is his creation. Don't ever forget that. Dave created Ahsoka. It wasn't fucking George.
Took some orange clay and he made a ball.
Yeah.
Then he made pointy things at the top of it.
And we have a character that's going to be one of the most beloved characters in
It's going
all
to
of
start
Star
out
Wars.
really fucking annoying.
Yes.
And people are going to hate it.
Yep.
And then people are going to love it, but there's going to be people that hate it.
Yeah.
Those people are going to grow to like. They're going to grow to love that character.
Yeah. And then one day we'll cast Rosario Dawson as her in live action, and then it'll all be over.
Yeah. How is it over already?
Yeah.
I'm already sad.
Yeah.
Now it's over.
Yeah.
It hasn't even begun.
So episode 1, Life and Death. As you mentioned, this is all about baby Ahsoka. This
Right.
is a 10-minute retelling of her first year on Togruta land, where she's born in this fucking village, and her mom takes her on a hunt, and lots of stuff happens.
Like you do.
yeah, because apparently that's what the Togruta tradition is, at least in this village.
Right.
They're not very advanced society, you know. They're in this like small village in the middle of the fucking woods, on this big fucking planet.
Yeah. They don't need the technology, I guess,
Yeah,
or they're avoiding it for
that is true.
reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but regardless of what else is going on the rest of their planet, they're a small community, pretty tight knit. Because when Ahsoka's born, the dad's running down the fucking street like, woo! my baby is here. You know,
Right.
he's all happy and everybody's looking out the windows and, very exciting. And then, we jump forward to, hold on, where do we go? George, Dad, and Dave, the mom. Sure. Whatever you say, Dragon Buddy. Anyway, he's celebrating. We flash back to like 1 year later, and the mom's got Ahsoka fucking strapped to her stomach in one of those baby carriers.
Right.
And she apparently the tradition when they hit a year old is to take them on a fucking hunt.
Yep.
With a fucking like a hunting rifle.
Yep. We're gonna go out there with a rifle
And shoot us a deer.
we're gonna kill some food.
Yeah.
And Dad's gonna be up there on the roof,
Yeah.
fucking like doing shit. You'd be like, You sure you're gonna go out there and do that? Like not really trying that hard to stop her.
Yeah. Oh no, don't go.
Yeah. Oh, don't get us food. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she goes out there with the rifle and the fucking baby and just and go out there and basically expose a baby to like visceral fucking just death and entrails.
Yeah,
and,
wildlife
yeah,
and-
it's just like, okay, here you go, baby.
Yeah.
Here, take this. Here, take this knife in your hand and stab it.
Yeah.
Just with a stabbing motion.
So, yeah, I'm gonna set you down while I like dig up or pick up this carcass.
Right.
And oh, by the way, massive saber-toothed tiger just rolls up,
Right.
and attacks the mom, takes Ahsoka, like just puts it in his fucking mouth and like runs into the woods.
I'm
and at
saving
first,
this snack for later.
well, at first I'm thinking is like, wait, was Ahsoka raised by fucking saber-toothed tigers? Is that where we're going with this?
it's just a Jungle Book. It's just
Yeah.
the entire now this Jungle Book. She's gonna be dancing and singing, and fucking blue rubbing up on a fucking tree and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Disney.
Yeah. So, but no, it was more to your point where the saber-tooth's like, all right, I'm hungry now, and I'm going to eat the baby. That looks like a baby.
Baby, the other white meat.
Yes.
Baby, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah. And he goes to eat Ahsoka. And of course, as we all know, Ahsoka's got some force sensitivity about her.
Right.
And waves her hand. Credits will do fine.
Right.
Next scene, everybody at the fucking village is like, oh god, Ahsoka's gone. We gotta go find her.
Right.
And then Ahsoka just rolls up, like riding this fucking saber tooth like a fucking mount. Just
Yep. Just
I'm
chilling
here.
on top
Yeah.
of it.
yeah.
Sabretooth plops it down. Like, I know you all shot me earlier. But here's Sabretooth. Like, this baby fucking touched my nose, and now I don't want to kill you all.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
Or something bad happens. Mm-hmm. And fucking turn around and roll out.
Yeah. And of course,
Like, he's not happy about it.
right.
It's like, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, because I, for some reason, feel this desire to do that still. And of course, like all the villagers are looking around like, what the fuck? And then the old lady in the village, I don't know, whatever she is, she just says Jedi, right? Because Togruta have been Jedi in the past. It's like, it's no mystery to them, the Force and the Jedi and all of that. So that was basically their way of saying she's Force sensitive.
Right. It's the only explanation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Jungle Book.
Yeah. Now, so but the scene.
Wait. Is Mowgli a Jedi?
Ooh, that's a good question. We could like wrap all the. But we didn't get to see the scene. We never get to see the scene except in Phantom Menace, where the Jedi actually come to take the fucking kid.
Right.
We see them talking. We see the old lady just say Jedi, which is their basically way of saying she's Force sensitive.
Right.
You don't see when the Jedi fucking show up and rip the fucking kid out of their hand.
Like,
and
hey, look over here. Zoinks!
yeah. The fucking parents are crying as the baby's going away. And,
And then they all die.
right. Well, and that's the thing too. It's like, how many times in galactic history has a Force sensitive child been identified? The Jedi show up and the parents are like, go fuck yourselves. We ain't giving you our fucking kid. Fuck off.
I mean,
That had to have happened many handfuls of times.
But then they do the fucking hand wave on him and take the kid.
Ooh, that'd be
Like,
fucked. But I wouldn't put it past the Jedi.
yeah, they're fucking assholes.
Yeah.
They are truly, truly assholes.
Yeah.
You know, the best Jedi were the ones that were like, the establishment's fucked.
Like Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh.
That is an excellent segue.
That
Jason.
is an excellent segue because our second episode is Justice,
Right.
starring Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Right. And when I first saw this, I was thinking, oh, fuck. This, to your point, this is Qui-Gon and fucking Dooku coming to pick up Ahsoka.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I legitimately had that thought, and then obviously that's not what happened.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, but that's not what happened.
No.
Sadly.
Yeah. But really, before we get into the second episode, Life and Death was decent, but very short, to the point, and at the end of the day, I don't really know what the point was, and except they just wanted us to see how Ahsoka's Force powers were discovered. But you could have done this with a lot of different characters. This story that I want to see is fucking Obi-Wan. We got that hint of it in the Obi-Wan show when he was talking to Leia, where he mentioned like he thinks he has a brother. That's the story I want to see. Like,
I don't.
Where did Obi-Wan come from?
I don't need anything else with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That is true.
I'm done. I didn't want it to begin with. I've been on record as saying that I didn't want the Obi-Wan series.
Okay.
Right? Remember?
I do remember. Well, yeah, no, and I was
Do we need
I
to
was
play
in the
the
same
fucking tape?
I was in the same boat where I'm like, what's the point? What story are they going to tell?
Right.
But it was decent.
We had a book. There's a book that gave an excellent story.
Yeah.
And that they didn't do that. But there was a couple of good things. There was Darth Vader dragging people down the street. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
For visuals, but
The redemption of Hayden Christensen.
yeah, like that Vader shit and the fighting, awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. I didn't need fucking Obi-Wan in it. But
Yeah.
but no more Obi-Wan. We don't need. I don't care about his brother. I don't care about his brother's sister's former roommate. I don't. There's no more. No
right.
more. Leave that man alone.
Hasn't he been through enough?
Right.
Did we really need to see him get dragged through fire? It's like, fuck.
No, we didn't. We didn't. The answer is no.
Right.
Let's move on.
So speaking of Obi-Wan, his former master, Qui-Gon Jinn, arrived with Count Dooku, his master at this time.
Right. Voiced by Liam Neeson.
Yep. Unfortunately, not Christopher Lee for Dooku.
Well, that would have been tough.
Considering he's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they got the same guy who voiced him in the Clone Wars. So all is well. And yeah, I love the ship design. It's very similar to a ship that already exists, but this one is kind of new. It's like a vertical stabilizer, basically, just a flying fucking fin,
Right.
that flips over and turns flat when they land, and it's a pretty sweet design. I liked it.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense, that design.
Aerodynamically, sure.
No, there's no reason for it.
But come on, we could pick apart so many different ship
Yes,
and
we
building
could.
design in Star
Yes, we
Wars,
could.
and
as I was putting together Slave One,
right.
and going, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
This is so impractical.
Like, why the fuck would you do this?
Yeah, but just visually, it looked cool.
Right.
I thought.
No, I think they rendered it really well.
Yeah.
Like you spoke of before, this is Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And none of these elements, as we talk about with the Tales of the Jedi, the music, the animation style, everything. This is like how I'm watching Star Wars.
Yeah. You know what we were missing though was the voice guy. When Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn are landing on the planet Booshtabah.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
That would have taken up more time, though.
True.
It would have been really fast.
Yeah.
What Qui-Gon to do?
Hurry, we only have 10 minutes. Come on. Anyway, so they land, and the whole plot of this is the son of the senator of this planet has been kidnapped by some
Right.
local bums, basically. And this is sort of the start. Well, not the start. So here's the thing. The Dooku Jedi Lost book, that we read, we covered it on the show years ago when it first came out.
Right.
That delves a lot into Dooku's mistrust of the Jedi, them kind of fucking him over a little bit, his mistrust in the Senate. So these stories that we see in this Tales of the Jedi are additional fuel to that fire. They're not like necessarily retelling any of the stories from the Jedi Lost part.
Right.
But it's just adding on to that story of Dooku.
Yeah, and for a more casual, viewer,
Right, who didn't get to experience the book.
right, this is like, okay, here's a couple of puzzle pieces that make Dooku more palatable in episode 2.
Right, and kind of less of an asshole than you would think.
Right.
But we'll get into that.
It makes more sense why Windu would be so like it would blow off this scenario where like Dooku wouldn't do that.
Right. He was
type
once
thing.
a Jedi. He couldn't assassinate anybody. It's not his character.
Right. Goddamn well.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. All right, anyway.
We really need that drop.
Oh, I know. So, yeah, Senator's son's been kidnapped by these fucking local vagrants. And we really start getting into the politics a lot because they get there, Qui-Gon and Dooku are talking to the fucking locals, and it's clearly they're living in squalor, and they start talking shit about the senator. He's... what did I write here? The politicians are getting rich while everybody else that they're representing is getting poorer and poorer. And I'm like, fuck, that kind of sounds familiar. Wonder what inspiration they pulled for that. Rich politicians who don't give a fuck about the people they're actually representing and just using their position to get richer. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he must have just dragged that out of thin air. Anyway, so this will be lost on you. But the voice of the son, this is another thing too, by the way, which I completely forgot about it in the first episode. Voices. We like pretty much everybody who did a voice in Clone Wars reprised their character in these episodes. Fucking Ashley Eckstein is back as Ahsoka.
Yep.
The guys who did Anakin and Obi-Wan are back. The guy who did Dooku is back. The guy who did the fucking the clones is back. Also some new voices. Do you know who Ahsoka's mom was?
No.
It was, because I'm listening, I'm like, that sounds very familiar, that voice. It was none other than Janina Gavankar, a.k.a. Iden Versio from Battlefront 2.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, now I have to, when I rewatch it. Hang on.
Are you responding to somebody in the chat?
No.
Okay. Are you looking something up?
My daughter.
Oh. Because they don't know we do the podcast on Monday nights.
No, of course not.
But yeah, no, Janina...
It's actually kind of a big thing.
Oh, okay. She pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay. She getting married?
No.
Then what the fuck could it be? Like, what's so big?
Where they could be ending up post school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, follow on to that conversation. All right, you'll have to tell me later.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, Janina did the voice of Ahsoka's mom. In this, the kid who plays the senator's son, as soon as I heard him speak, I immediately knew who that was because he's the guy who does the voice of the video game character Anduin in World of Warcraft. Okay. Obviously, you're not a World of Warcraft guy, but they've really been pushing the storylines in World of Warcraft over the last several years, and this character Anduin, who's like the king of the fucking humans, very distinct voice. And as soon as this fucking guy opened his mouth, I'm like, that's the voice of Anduin. I looked it up and sure as shit it was. So a lot of famous voice actors doing, and the guy's done voices for a lot of other shit too. It's not just that character.
Yeah. If you're out there in the industry doing voiceover work, you never do you're not just doing one thing. You're doing all the things.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't make a career out of it.
I would imagine. Yeah. So, but I marked out for that one. And then the come to find out, these fucking people who are living in the shitty town are the ones that actually kidnapped the son. Dad shows up and we get a fucking a Western showdown.
Right.
Guys with guns on this side, guys with guns on this side, waiting for somebody to fucking flinch. Battle happens.
Right.
And, Dooku and Qui-Gon are on the side of the villagers, right? Because even though they came there to like try to find the senator's son and free him and everything, they end up being like, well, look what you fucking created here, asshole. Like, you need to just stand down. We got your son. We know where he is. We're going to de-escalate the situation. And he's like, no, fuck that, fire. And they start firing. So Dooku and Qui-Gon are kind of like fighting on the villager side, sort of de facto at this point. A lot of people are getting killed left and right, and Dooku gets pissed. And he's like, all right, enough of this shit. And fucking just force chokes the senator and kind of gets him to stand down. But this is that first hint of Dark Dooku.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon's like, master?
Oh, yeah, and he pushes Qui-Gon away, too. He fucking force pushes him into the barn.
Yeah, fuck off, kid.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me what to do, you little fuck.
Yeah. And, then Qui-Gon releases the son. The son finally convinces the dad, like, all right, fucking time out. These guys
fuck the son. I hate it, too.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing, too, is, like, he's got some Stockholm syndrome going on where he's like, no, these people are good. Like, the same people that captured him.
Right.
So he's on their side. So he's fully Stockholmed at this point.
Fucking kids.
Yeah. So everything's kind of resolved, but this is sort of the first seeds that we're seeing planted in Dooku. Like, these fucking senators, I don't know, man. Maybe they're not, all good, all knowing, and
maybe we shouldn't be working for them.
Yeah. And a theme we might see again.
And it does make you wonder too, because all right, Qui-Gon's still. This is still like kind of they're still a mated pair, right? So,
yeah.
Pwang.
Sorry.
So, as far as the timeline goes, we don't know if Sidious has basically turned
Well, at this point in the timeline, I don't think that there's been any interaction between Dooku and Sidious at this point.
I think we're just like kind of sowing the seed.
Yeah, this is the beginning.
Something would have had to have happened.
Yep. But it escalates a little bit in the next episode, the choices, where now it's Dooku.
Before we get there,
are we taking a break?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So before we get into the next episode, we are going to take a very quick break and be right back after this quick word from our sponsors. Dave did warn us that he had to pee mid-show, or that he was going to have to. But yeah. So real quick, we'll recap the Black Series figures. This is my favorite, the Leia, even though she's in the not good packaging. Yeah, I can't get over her in the fucking bounty hunter outfit, and I'm looking forward to opening this one and actually playing with it a little bit. All right, somebody remind me, did the fifth brother die in Obi-Wan? I can't remember. I feel like he did, but then I feel like he also showed up in fucking Rebels. I don't know. It's hard to keep all these goddamn Inquisitors straight. And no, Leia! Shit. And then we got good old Bib Fortuna. The detail, I wish you could see it in the camera, but the detail in these Black Series figures it's something else, man. Ugh. Oh boy. Kristen's asking, what
happened?
Oh, she fell. So she's just now responding to me saying I spent $100 on a Black Series figure. She's like, what Black Series figure did you pay $100 for? It was Hunter. Because apparently he was super rare. He was super rare, and he's over a couple years old now.
You talked about that before.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta fucking get out there and fucking just grab it.
Yep. So in the interest of trying to wrap this up before 8, I will forego peeing because I don't think I need to.
All right.
So we can get back to it. Give me a countdown whenever you're ready. And we're back. So, episode 3, Choices. We start off with Dooku and Mace Windu in that same fucking ship, that same vertical stabilizer ship, going to another planet, and now they're investigating a Jedi who's been killed.
Right.
Who was with a fucking senator again. So we got this continuing theme of these fucking senators being wrapped up in all this
Bad news.
This kind of bullshit. And yeah, a lot of back and forth, a lot of talking between Mace and fucking Dooku to start off the episode.
Right.
So you can tell that there's a friendship there, but there's also
like Dooku's like, this is, one of our friends was killed. Now's not the time to be worried about the rules.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, Mace Windu, he's very by the book.
Right.
We got to do it this way. The Senate has asked us to do this, and the blah blah, and the council.
We're
blah,
not
blah.
members of the council. It's we have to give this shit to them to make decisions. 'Cause
Yeah.
Fortunately, we don't have to make those decisions because it's not driven by ego or whatever. Which is total horse shit, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that one comment that was made, like the Jedi Council makes decisions without ego or anything, and I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about?
The fuck it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's complete. That's just, oh my god.
Like just that
hubris.
shows. Yeah,
The hubris.
Yes, the hubris of the Jedi.
The hubris.
It's like the Jedi Council is completely impartial, and they're
Right.
they're the most wisest in everybody, and it's
Right.
like that's the problem right there.
That's
You just spelled it out.
yeah. They're not infallible.
Yeah.
You fuckers. Don't you see? Can't you see it?
Yeah. Did you see that the game is being postponed?
What?
That's what Kristen just said in the chat. Kathy just texted her and is talking about the game being postponed due to rain. Breaking news.
Let me see. Doesn't say anything there from MLB. Official Phillies website. Phillies, look, we take the lead. I already have season tickets. Thank you. Phillies rally bus. Center guards starting game 3. I don't see anything.
All right.
There's nothing on the official Phillies website, which, much like the Disney website.
And I kind of wanted to like lecture Lunar Girl when she was texting us earlier, talking about like how like the next Mandalorian trailer is supposed to come out on December 25th, and then some updated release dates. And I'm like, was it on StarWars.com? Was it on the official Star Wars Twitter? Then I don't know how much I believe that.
Right. I just got tagged in a tweet. Representatives of MLB and both clubs met with forecasters at 5 p.m. Forecast continues to call for rain. Okay. Well, we'll press and we'll see what happens.
She's already responded. No, it wasn't on the official channels. And the news might be right, but as we've said over and over on the show, don't trust anything until it's actually in an official Disney or Lucasfilm channel.
Now I need to have Twitter open. All right.
Thank you, Kristen, for derailing this
Yes.
conversation.
Well,
by
I
the
mean,
way.
it's important.
Yeah.
It's important to me anyway.
Right.
And quite frankly, look, it's the World fucking Series. Okay.
That your team is in.
Yeah. And sidebar on this. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think it was your chair, but it sounded like the door
Yeah,
opening.
it did. Fuck, it's some creepy Halloween shit going on.
I know, right?
No, this is the most improbable thing ever. Like, for somebody as superstitious as I am, right? We got season tickets this year, and I'm like, there's no fucking way they'd make the playoffs.
I think
There's
you
no
told
way.
this story last week.
Yeah. So, and then they make the playoffs, and I buy playoff tickets. I'm like, they're never going to win a playoff game because I'm there. Mm-hmm. Right? They win the playoff game. I'm like, all right, I'm not buying any more playoff tickets. Right? I just, because I'm like, I've pressed my luck too much.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, just the fact that we're here and it's so unexpected and just, I'm going to fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You don't know what fucking next year's gonna do. Like this is not like this baseball dynasty that's going to go every single year. I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like year to year. So I'm trying to enjoy all these moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, World fucking Series. Anyway.
So, finishing up episode 3, they get down to the planet after some bickering, and they're trying to like investigate, and they're doing some like detective work. Fucking Windu's looking at some blaster fire against some rocks and some fucking trees, and is like figuring out the trajectory and all that, where the fucking blaster fire came from that killed the Jedi, and
which honestly, like you get this moment where Windu's kind of pissed because Dooku's like taking on something on his own and making his own call here without talking to the council. And then when they get off and they start actually looking at things like, oh, here's the blaster fire, and all the blaster fire is concentrated away from the ship, not towards the ship, like it would have been in an ambush.
Yep.
And you see Windu's like, yeah, this fucking stinks.
yeah.
Like something is obviously wrong here. So then you kind of see him switch from like into a more out of this passive annoyed mode into a more like, okay, something was amiss here.
Yeah. And then just like that, the fucking senator starts running over. It was the guards, and they fucking shoot the guy, shoot the fucking senator right in the back.
Yeah. Which I love it.
Yeah,
I love it because that's not like that's how it would be.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it would be. It's just like for some of the stuff we were seeing in Andor where it's just like, oh, are you going to let this dude live? No. Blam! Fucking Andor shot first and fucking every time.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to let that dude fucking live so he can tell his story. No. Fuck him. Fuck the son. I hate it too.
yeah. And come to find out, their story is very similar to the one in the previous episode. It's like they were going to try to like force the senator to like fucking, talk to the Senate to help out their planet. Because again, the picture that they're trying to paint here is like the senator like living in his fucking high castle with the fucking Jedi and all that, and like them down on the planet. It's all fucked.
It's officially postponed.
Like hours or days?
For tonight, it's postponed.
So it's not happening tonight.
Not happening tonight.
Sad face.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Or we have no time restriction, so we can.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway,
so now here's the thing. I only watched these episodes one time each because I just kind of ran out of time. I forget how this one ended up getting resolved. This episode.
This is the one where they got back to Coruscant with the body.
Right.
They had the funeral ceremony where they took her body.
Oh yeah.
They lowered it into the ground, and you got this like
that beam of light.
Take your staff of Ra and fucking.
Yeah.
And obviously that's like the same as the funeral pyre, I would imagine, right? That to me was the analog for that.
Yeah.
Like this is how they emulate the funeral pyre. And after that, Dooku calls Windu over because Windu got her seat on the council.
Right.
And Dooku is like, hey, did you know that you were going to fucking get that seat before we left to go do this thing?
Yeah.
And Windu is like, no, I'm just as surprised as you are now.
Mm-hmm.
I was just surprised as you are now. And then Windu goes like, I'll talk to the council, to let them know that, what you had done.
Yeah.
And Dooku's like, oh, that was so gracious of you.
And then and then Dooku bumped into Qui-Gon at this point too, right?
Yes,
like
with
somewhere-
Yaddle.
Yeah,
With-
yeah.
This is when we see fucking Yaddle show
Yeah.
up. Who is voiced by?
What's her name? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of interesting voice work done in this one. And they had a good exchange. Dooku and Qui-Gon had a really really nice exchange. This had to have been after Qui-Gon had split off and become his own Jedi. And did he mention already having an apprentice in this one? Yeah, I don't remember.
I grew up so fast.
Yeah. I can't remember if you mentioned having Obi-Wan
No,
as
because
an apprentice.
what happens with the justice and justice choices.
Well, the Sith Lord is
Sith
when
Lord.
because the Sith Lord, the next episode is the one that starts off after Dooku's gotten word that Qui-Gon died,
Right.
and that seems like that was sort of the final straw for him.
Facts.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I don't think we knew that at this point in Episode 1, Dooku was still part of the Jedi Order.
Oh, this is choices. Yeah, sorry. Now you got me confused, fucker.
Sorry. No, but anyway, choices ended. Yeah, with them like burying what's her name,
Right.
Qui-Gon or Dooku and Mace having that fucking little
Back and forth,
that,
right.
that tense exchange, and then Dooku having a nice exchange with Qui-Gon, basically.
Right.
And that's where the episode ended.
And they grow up so fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then move to the very next episode. We immediately start off with fucking Qui-Gon dead.
Yeah,
like
because you see him. You see Dooku. He's standing in front of the what I'm assuming is a force tree.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because that's immediately what I thought of when I saw it. Which one of two,
Right.
which we know from the fucking comics.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the second one go?
Poe Dameron's family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was Poe Dameron's family. And why was it never brought up in the sequel trilogy? The world will never know.
Well, there's a lot of things that they missed. Missed opportunities. That should be the name of the sequel trilogy. Missed opportunities.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
so they have the tree in the middle of Coruscant, and Dooku's reminiscing about Qui-Gon being born in Coruscant and not knowing trees and blah 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 blah. And Yaddle's like, sensing that things are amiss.
Yes.
In Dooku's world.
Yeah. So, and it seems like, because now at this point we know that he's had contact with Palpatine, aka Sidious, which I still like. Fuck. I wish the Jedi Lost book wasn't so long ago, because I really wonder sometimes if Dooku knew that fucking Palpatine was Sidious. He had to have, right? I feel like we've asked this question before. Either way.
That's a good question, because it seems obvious,
Yeah.
but
There are some subtle things that make you think that maybe he didn't know.
didn't.
Yeah.
Like, it's not it's not the best disguise, right?
Right.
I mean,
it's like Clark Kent, with the glasses.
Right.
It's just hood.
although, sidebar, I'm trying to sidebar. They're sidebarring in the cantina
Yeah,
chat.
they're distracting us in the chat. Kristen's distracting us.
Right.
It's
It's
the
like
baseball.
the sidebarring of sidebars.
Yeah, we've had a lot of sidebars in this episode.
Yeah. It's in the sidebar cantina.
Yeah, go figure.
No, I heard in Superman, which you really have to start watching Adam Savage. Adam Savage Tested on YouTube.
Okay.
Like, he's got so much good shit on there, and it's a lot of Star Wars stuff,
Yeah.
because he worked at ILM. He worked on so much Star Wars shit. Episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. He worked on the models and the fucking droids and everything. And he has all these cool stories and builds lightsabers and all this other shit. It's really, really
All right.
cool shit. One of the things he did is short. He was in some auction house in London, and they had a Superman, like, from one of his suits, right? Mm-hmm. Where is my super suit? But it was like the top. It was the top from Superman 1.
Like the Christopher Reeve?
The Christopher Reeve Superman.
Okay.
Right? It's the top from Superman 1, and then the britches were like from britches. Did I really just say britches?
What are you, 80?
The britches from Superman 2. And then it was like a flying cape from Superman 1 that they sewed to make a walking cape for Superman 2. There was like all this level of detail in it.
Huh.
And then the boots were flying boots, because you could tell, because they put red tape on the bottoms of them. And it's like all this stuff. Really, really cool. And they talked about this isn't even the point I'm trying to make. They talked about, like, I guess the material that the suit was made of was actually, it was a special fucking machine that actually weaved the material. And it was a company in Germany that actually made it. And that company went bankrupt. So that when people are replicating the actual, like, the costume or replicating the suit, they can't replicate it exactly because the weave pattern can't be duplicated.
Right.
Because that machine got destroyed. So that suit that's in that auction house for auction, and even the mannequin, it has a Christopher Reeve, like, super realistic fucking, it looks like Madame Tussauds fucking Christopher Reeve head. So it's like the actual size.
Yeah.
And it's just a fucking, it's just one of those things where you're like, damn, that's the actual fucking, you know, circa 1970, was it 78 when Superman 1 came out?
Yeah.
But anyway, I told that story to tell this one. That Christopher Reeve he'd put on the Clark Kent, he'd have the Clark Kent shit on and walk around on set and people wouldn't recognize him.
Really?
Yeah. He would do it deliberately.
Uh-huh.
So that, and it, like, he'd have the stuff on and he would walk around and he said people wouldn't recognize him. It was like, it was a thing on set.
That's funny.
I'm not even a Superman guy, like, but the old, like, the OG Superman, like, that's, I mean, John Williams. It's John.
It is John Williams.
Anyway.
All right, good story.
So yeah, cool story, bro. This was Superman in Star Wars.
So anyway, back to this episode 4, the Sith Lord.
Tales of the Jedi.
Yes. So yeah, Dooku's, like, at this point, I feel like Qui-Gon's death is what pushed him over the edge. He had a bond with Qui-Gon.
Right.
He's having these secret meetings with Sidious, but he's not 100% there. He's still got his fucking blue lightsaber. He's still with the Jedi.
Now, so here's something I wanted to bring up. How many meetings do you think he really had? Like, I feel like meeting in person, Sidious was powerful enough to be able to communicate with Ren and with, you know, through other people, just telepathically, right?
Yeah.
So why have this physical connection with Dooku? Is it because he hadn't reached that next level of power yet? Like, why have to have a face-to-face meeting? You know what I mean? Is he trying to not let Dooku know how powerful he really is?
That could be. Yeah, and that could go along with the whole, you know, maintaining the Palpatine facade.
Yeah. I just, it's something that struck me is, like, you don't have to fucking, first of all, if you're Dooku, your fucking OPSEC is terrible.
Yeah.
You're just fucking let Yaddle follow you, like
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking the whole time. As he's flying away, and she's right there behind him the whole way. I'm like, do you see? Do you have a rear view mirror?
No, apparently not. No sensors, no rear view mirror, no fucking the Force.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a Jedi Master behind me. I can't feel that in the Force. No, can't do that. No, and just fucking go VFR directly to the fucking meeting place. Mm-hmm. What could possibly go wrong? Right.
Like, in your actual ship, you know, don't change ships.
Nope.
Don't get in a fucking taxi or take the train.
Nope. Just like, I will take my leave now, and just fucking just hop right into your ship.
Yeah.
Like,
now, to be fair, he had just found out about Qui-Gon's death, so he could, you know, be a bit emotional. And maybe that's why fucking Sidious called him. Maybe he fucking knew. He's like, all right, I'm going to get this guy when he's at his most vulnerable. Like, he just lost his former Padawan. He's been disillusioned about the Jedi for fucking years. Now is when I'm going to reach out and touch someone.
He's already had him, though, because in this episode, oh crap, let me see my notes. Yeah, it's this episode where it begins. This is the one that begins with him erasing.
Oh, right. Erasing the Camino thing. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So he's like,
someone erased it from the Jedi archives.
Right. So he erased the stuff out of Camino.
And mentioned Sifo-Dyas.
Was that the end of the other episode? They see the problem with watching all these, like, in a row,
like back to back to back.
Yeah. In a row. Is it all that shit blended together? But yeah, that I think that that Sidious was already working him over to, like, get his leaning. Like, he had the tendency, like, God, the fucking council's a bunch of idiots, right? He was already kind of leaning that way, and then Palpatine just got in there and just moved him over further.
Yeah.
It's not deliberate that I'm moving it to the left. It's just that was a weird thing, but yeah. What am I doing?
So yeah, anyway. Yaddle, you talk about Dooku's poor OPSEC. Yaddle thinks, yeah, this is fine. I'll just follow him.
Yeah.
Not call for backup.
Nope.
Even when she sees fucking Sidious, who at this point you don't know who he is, but you know that there's Sith out there again.
Nope. She's just gonna listen around the corner and just be like,
well,
I can handle this.
Yeah, and then pop out, hada!
Da-da-da!
Gotcha, fucker.
Yeah. I am Yaddle.
Like, how did you think this was gonna fucking end?
Right. Did anyone else think like, okay, now there's got to be Yaddle pop?
Oh yeah,
Yaddle Black Series.
Oh yeah, it's coming
now. Baby Ahsoka fucking pop.
Yeah,
like these things need to happen.
Oh, and they will.
I'll get a Yaddle.
Well,
pop.
you're gonna get a pop that's Ahsoka's mom with Ahsoka strapped to her fucking chest.
One can only hope.
Oh, it'll happen.
One can only hope.
I almost guarantee that.
So, are you listening, Funko? Are you listening?
Oh, dude,
get on this shit,
dude. The presses are probably fired up as we speak with this fucking model.
Right.
I guarantee it. That's why they made these. Because, you know, my big question at the end of all this, once we get through these episodes, is what was the purpose of all this? I think we have it.
Yeah.
Toys.
Merchandising.
Make the sacrifice.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Shit. Whoops. I was on the wrong page of the soundboard. You okay?
So you doubled down and pushed all the buttons?
Well, see, because I know which three are the Pops, the Techs, and the Black Series, and I meant to push all three of those at the same time.
Right.
I was just on the wrong page, so it did three other just random things. Because what I was trying to do was...
The sacred Jedi pact!
I was trying to do that. But I messed up.
Oh, that was great.
I'm retarded.
That was great. When you're not expecting that, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh God, what were we talking about?
Yaddle and her poor decision making.
Yeah,
because she's like, "Surprise, motherfucker!" and they're like,
Right.
"Oh,
but
okay." Well,
so she gave up. She says, after she's like, "Ha ha! Oh shit! This is a bad idea."
Yeah.
Right. I've seriously miscalculated here.
I've made a huge mistake.
Yes. And, and then she's hiding in the worst possible spot. Like, why didn't you just leave?
Yeah, you had that big open fucking hangar door.
Like, looked out.
Just
like,
jump out of it.
Like, all right, peace out, bitches.
Yeah, your chances of survival, even if you're like many stories up, your chances of survival, if you just do a controlled jump out of that fucking big hangar door, they're higher than if you stay and fight this fucker.
Yeah, he had no idea. He had to jump out. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're hiding behind the ship that he fucking, like, you pushed his button.
Which was very shades of Return of the Jedi, by the way. Like, as Dooku's walking around, like, looking for her and talking to her, you get that shot of her back up against what turns out to be part of that ship.
Yeah,
and
true.
she's talking to Dooku. It was very Return of the Jedi with Luke and Vader.
True.
Neat scene. But then Dooku realized where she was and just fucking moved the whole fucking ship out of the way.
Through the ship. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. And, long story short, we don't have to detail every bit of the fight, but yeah, Dooku kills Yaddle.
Yeah.
As Palpatine is basically like, yes, do it. Use your anger and take your final steps and all that.
You get the laugh in the background,
Yep.
like the atypical laugh.
Yeah,
we didn't really talk about there was some music here too that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's part of the overlay, and when you watch it again, like, pay attention to some of the music, because it actually, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take anything away from it, and I'm not shitting on it at all. It was like, oh wow, this is an interesting choice for the music.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and re-listen because I have like no real memory of that. But Ian McDiarmid back as Palpatine, which, by the way, when I heard that it was, Ian back as the voice of Palpatine, I'm like, he needs to do a fucking James Earl Jones deal. Like, Ian McDiarmid, Lucasfilm needs to go to him and be like, we'll give you all these millions of dollars.
Right.
sign over your voice rights,
Right.
take this dictionary, read all of these words into this microphone in the Palpatine voice, and this character will live forever. Because Ian McDiarmid's getting up there in age too. He's no spring chicken, just like James Earl Jones. So if we're gonna do this, let's fucking do it right. Record as much fucking dialogue from him as you possibly can in the Palpatine voice. Sign over the rights and let this character live forever.
Forever.
Yep.
I agree.
So, but yeah, that's basically where this one ends. Now we know what happened to Yaddle.
Yes.
So
Yaddle got fucking crushed. Well, pretty much.
She probably took some blunt trauma.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it crushed because she did use the Force to kind of protect herself.
Right.
But after she got the shit off of her, she just like lumped over, and
like,
then
that took obviously took a lot out of her.
and then Palpatine was finish him.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Dooku finished her off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Rest in peace, Yaddle.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to wonder anymore.
Yeah, because that was a big thing. Like, where did she go between episodes 1 and 2? Because
Right.
she was no longer there.
Was she hiding Baby Yoda somewhere? Blah blah blah. No,
Right.
Nope. Put that to bed.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been funny in like her death throw? She'd been like, Grogu.
No. There is another.
Yeah. No, we'll have to find out about Grogu's origins throughout the course of Mandalorian. I think they wouldn't reveal it in this. That
No, I 100% agree.
Yep.
I just find it humorous.
Yep.
Like, hey, there can be only one, Yoda looking thing
At a time.
At a time.
in
And-
Star Wars. Yep. All right, episode 5. Practice makes perfect. And this is going back to, now we're in the fucking Clone Wars. This is
Right.
Anakin, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, the whole gang's back together. Rex starts off with training. Ahsoka's doing like some sort of training demonstration or test or something.
Yeah, she's testing for green belt apparently.
Right, yeah. And, they got all these fucking test droids like firing at her. Anakin shows up. You see in the fucking...
Late. Shows up late.
You see in the crowd watching from the other side opposite Anakin and Obi-Wan, fucking Caleb Dune and, what's her face? Depa Balaba? Yeah. So you see them in the fucking audience, which... Now there's a whole bunch of shit online about people saying that it's breaking continuity because of like when certain things happen in a certain book with Caleb and when Depa became his master. But the story group guys explained it all away, and they're like, this is how this all works. So before anybody like gets their panties in a bunch, they've covered it.
Right.
So just follow the story group guys. Who, I don't know, they may not be on Twitter anymore after last week, but I digress. So yeah, she's going through this test, and Anakin's like, fuck this. Droids are predictable. You need a real test. And he basically creates a test for Ahsoka, lines or puts her in the middle of a circle of fucking clones with Rex as their captain. Yeah. Cue the meme with the girl on the couch.
Right.
But, and yeah, basically he teaches Ahsoka to defend herself when she's surrounded by clone troopers that are fucking shooting at her. And it, basically it's a lot of this. And then of course a lot of Ahsoka complaining and the usual back and forth with her and fucking Anakin.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what he's taught her is how to survive the purge.
Yeah.
Whether he was doing it on purpose or not, he essentially taught Ahsoka how to defend herself against clone troopers. So, and that we even get a scene of that when we flash forward in the future where after the purge has happened and it's like her and Rex trying to fucking escape still. And he's got her as like his pretend captive.
Right.
And they go into this fucking big room with the clones, which we saw that in that last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So we get a little rehash of that, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was a great tie-in. That really
Yeah.
was. That was like, okay. Seeing like a back scene, like, okay, this is shot from a different angle type thing. Like, oh, hey, this was a cut scene.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed how they tied that together.
Yeah, so they perfectly tied this into the end of the Clone Wars. Because if I'm not mistaken, the scene where the purge happened and Ahsoka's on the bridge of that ship And she's like, and I'm pretty sure she's surrounded by a circle of fucking clone troopers. And she fucking, fights him off, and before Rex, like, holds his guns up to her, and, she talks him out of, like, trying to kill her. And then they make their escape and all that. But yeah, no, it was like a perfect setup scene for her eventually surviving that. And, you got to wonder if, like, somehow deep in the recesses of his mind, Anakin knew that she was going to need this skill at some point,
Yeah.
and did that intentionally to save her.
And honestly, it's more so the fact that I think Anakin, the words that he speaks about, I'm your master. It is my job to prepare you. This is life and death.
Yeah.
It's my job to protect you.
Yep.
And this is the best way I know of to do that. And I think that's something he took. The one thing that you get throughout everything, throughout all the books, the movies, anything that deals with Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader, is his loyalty to, like, his troops, right? He had this fanatical squads of troops, right? They're talking a lot about it in the comics, like when we did the Vader comics, the previous series of Vader comics. It talked a lot about how just the level of devotion those troopers had to him.
Yeah.
Like and same thing with the clone troopers with Anakin. Like he was that kind of, like, servant leader, I guess you could say.
Sure. Yeah.
And right or wrong, he took that seriously. He took his responsibility seriously. Like, hey, you are my Padawan, and my job is to make like, I don't think that this training regiment and you getting your green belt here with the fucking, the practice balls, I don't think that's a legitimate test of your skill.
Right.
Like,
and another interesting way to look at that too is think about where the Jedi were. Let's say at the start of episode 1, right? They're all fat, dumb, and happy.
Right.
Everything's right with the galaxy until all of a sudden these two fucking Sith show up. And Anakin starts his Jedi journey and immediately sees the guy who was going to train him get fucking killed.
yeah.
And the Jedi are not used to that at this point. Because again, Jedi they're aplenty. There's no overarching threat.
Yeah,
they're just maintaining the peace.
Yeah, the top of the pyramid.
Right. And then Anakin immediately sees, like, one fucking Jedi Master get killed right in front of him. Well, no, not in front of him, but it's, as part of the whole battle there. Then at the start of the Clone Wars, you see massive fucking casualties on the Jedi side. So Anakin, more than almost anybody else Jedi-wise, like, has this sense of the galaxy ain't fucking safe. Any of us can get killed. Whereas, the Jedi, it seemed like they were still having trouble grasping that in the beginning. But he's always known. It's like, there's fucking danger out there.
This is a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah. And, more than any of the other Jedi, he took it upon himself to really prepare his Padawan for this fucking killer universe out there that's like Australia. Everything's trying to kill you.
Yes. Speaking of Australia, I think I just saw a post by our Australian contingent, Wally Frogmore.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was on Discord, and that might have been old.
Okay.
Nope. Said, no, it was a minute ago. I had off work today, but we went out to breakfast and coffee, forgetting what day it was. So log in.
Yeah.
Are you listening right now, Wally? Come on.
Anyway, that's pretty much the end of that episode. And then we move right into the final episode, Resolve. Again, centered around Ahsoka. And this is the one that it's essentially a very abbreviated retelling of the Ahsoka novel.
Right.
Starts off with Padme's funeral, which is a pretty cool scene. Again, one of those scenes you see from a different angle now, because Ahsoka fucking sneaks into the funeral. Bail Organa sees her, follows her out, and they have the conversation in the hallway where he's like, "What the fuck you doing here?"
Yeah.
She's like, "She was my friend."
Yeah, and I'm not one for the touching moments, but I think that was a touching moment.
Yeah.
I think it was like, that's completely legitimate. Like, yes, she had stepped away from the Jedi Order, but this was a friend.
Yeah.
And so she deemed it worth the risk. Mm-hmm. So it totally makes sense.
Yeah, and just like Obi-Wan and the few other people that survived the purge, they lost everything. Ahsoka lost fucking everything at this point. And then we go to the farm planet that now I did some research on this, and Filoni has not confirmed that this is indeed that same farm planet and everything from the book, but it's the same fucking story. She's at this farm planet trying to lay low. Her name is Ashla, which was the same name they used.
Same name.
She befriends this fucking girl, this local girl. The brother doesn't trust her and fucking turns her in. Inquisitor shows up, raises the fucking farm. So it's
so. But saying that, I wanted to verify which Inquisitor was that.
I think the Wikipedia page says which one he is, and he's not one that we've seen in any other canon.
I don't,
because he's got a very unique look to him with that fucking
the
mask and everything.
But I think it was described in something else. Like when I saw it, I'm like, God, I should know who this is. Like it's immediately what I thought. It was like, man, I should know who this is.
Yeah,
and I could not come up with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it says in the Wikipedia page. Inquisitor. Yeah, he shows up. He's got the double-bladed lightsaber. Tells the brother to fuck off when he's like, "But I'm the one. I deserve a reward."
You lied to me and expect imperial favor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he's identified as the sixth brother. In the book, in the Ahsoka novel, he's the sixth brother. In this, he's not referred to as anything. So the Wikipedia page basically says that it's the same story as the book, abbreviated. Filoni hasn't confirmed if it's, if it is indeed the same.
It's the same name. You're not.
Yeah, it's good though. It's a good abbreviated telling of the story for the people that didn't read the book.
And to be honest, if you didn't read the book, you would have no idea. You wouldn't know to have this conversation because you never read the book,
right?
Although you would go, who was that Inquisitor?
Right.
Because the uniqueness of the mask is like the Darth Nihilus mask.
Yeah.
Look to it.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And of course, Ahsoka fucking takes him out and like one fucking just she fucking grabs his lightsabers and
yeah, that was way more badass than I expected.
Yeah.
I think she was tapped into her anger a little bit, because you should be able to use your fucking emotion. Mm-hmm. Even if it is a pathway to the dark side. Yeah. Fuck it.
She's no Jedi.
Use it to your fucking advantage.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you don't get. This is the Jedi are fucked. The Jedi are fucked up. It's just not.
And I don't know how. They keep making the same fucking mistakes too. Luke was trying to rebuild the Jedi Order in the exact same way that it had been running. He fucked up with Grogu, made him fucking make the choice. You either get rid of all your attachments or you can go back to fucking Mando, which I'll still never get over the fact that he sent him in an unmanned fucking craft. He's just like, get this fucking kid on a goddamn ship and get him the fuck out of here. Oh, it was fucking hilarious. But anyway, yeah, no, the hubris of the Jedi, the fucking constant mistakes they make. And, in a way, Dooku was right. Maybe some of his actions were
from a certain point of view,
you know. And that's exactly what some of these episodes were setting up. They weren't setting it up to make Dooku look like an asshole. They were setting it up to make him being like, yeah, why the fuck do we listen to these senators? They're not perfect. Why do we take orders from them?
Right.
Who's to say that the Jedi Council is all knowing, and those questions that people like us have.
Right. And this is kind of what makes me lean in towards the fact that Sidious, he doesn't know that Sidious is Palpatine.
Right.
It's something that we need to research further.
Yeah. There could be a fucking scene somewhere in like the Clone Wars that we missed where it's just like, oh yeah, no. He knows. Hey, put on your Palpatine mask and go talk to the Senate.
Yeah, go to Palpatine.
Yeah. Or maybe not. But so that's the series in a nutshell. Again, very quick watch. 10 to 15 minutes per episode, 6 episodes. And here's the thing. Like, I enjoyed all of these. Don't get me wrong. I did not dislike any of this. The very first episode, the baby Ahsoka, it was kind of like, why did I just watch that? Because it really didn't set up anything later on down the line.
It was just more of a, hey, this is how we found out Ahsoka had Force ability.
Right. And
Okay, cool.
and that's kind of bringing me to my bigger point. It's like, what is the goal behind this? Like, was it just a fucking cash grab? Like, was it just to get some more views on Disney Plus and to fucking make some new toys? Because yes, there is some interesting canon in here, and it's like you've said before, like with the casuals who didn't read any of the books, a few details that they might have missed. But at the end of the day, they're not complete stories. They're just these very little small bits that add on to the
So smart.
yeah.
So smooth.
That add on to the greater story. But at the end of the day, it's like, where are we going with this? Or is this it? Is this just like a one-off and then we're done? Never to address this? Is Tales of the Jedi going to be something we see more of?
I think it's one of those things that can we watch this and see, does this lead to something more in this type of storytelling?
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's 15-minute snippets of like Star Wars Insider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
here's your short story from Star Wars Insider.
Right.
Type thing. And we never had problems with it from Star Wars Insider. You know what I mean? It was like,
True.
like here's your short story. And I'm not saying we need 6 episodes at a shot of it, but if you want to, like, you have a show like Andor, you have a show like The Mandalorian.
We still have Bad Batch.
You still
like
have
for
Bad-
animated shows.
What I'm saying is, like, okay, you want to have a 15-minute like release it at the same time. Like, hey, here's a 15-minute Tales of the Jedi before you watch this episode of the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
With like
Like-
maybe a character that ties into the story in the Bad Batch. Or
It doesn't even have to. It just be like, hey, you're watching Star Wars. Here's a little 15 minutes of extra Star Wars.
yeah.
Why the fuck not? Yeah.
Right. And again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have gotten it or anything else. Like, and I'm just wondering what's the long-term goal with this? Or is that it? And maybe it's like, hey, we'll put these shorts out.
Well,
if they're successful, then we'll keep going with it, kind of thing.
I point to the visions, the Star Wars
Yeah.
visions, and it's of the same ilk.
Right.
It just happens to be using characters that we knew,
Right.
and stories that we knew.
And based off of that, we know we're getting a second season of Visions.
Right.
So maybe this is, again, a springboard. It's like, all right, we'll put this out, see how it's received. If they like it, if it gets a lot of views, we'll keep pumping out more because, the title, Tales of the Jedi, is so broad. You could literally tell anything. You could tell it from different eras. You could tell.
Broad.
Yeah. You could throw a fucking Luke story out there. You could do a Tales of the Jedi Luke like 2 years after the end of fucking Return of the Jedi or whatever.
Yeah.
The door is open for all kinds of storytelling. It's, again, I want to know what the intent is here. I need to know. I deserve to know. I am an entitled fan, and at the end of the day, it's all about me. And I want to know, Dave. Not you, Dave. Dave Filoni.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck getting that answer. I am looking forward to his response.
Yep.
And when you don't hold your breath.
Right. But if it was up to me, this would be a regular thing. Like, this would be like we get one drop of Tales of the Jedi every 6 months, and they tell stories from all over the place. And they could even do some like running stories, like Dooku. They could continue to build on the Dooku angle. But if this is the only thing that we get, then it's just like, okay, I guess that was fine. I mean, it's just weird that it was just this short drop and now we're done.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think if we just look at Visions, look at how we received and processed Visions, we found out months later that there was going to.
George Lucas is in the chat,
I know.
so maybe he can give us some insight. I would assume he's still friends with Dave.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So yeah, George, have you talked to Dave Filoni about like what the intent of Tales of the Jedi is?
Yeah.
If so, say it in the chat.
Yeah. Just, go ahead. Tell the world.
Yeah. So anything else on Tales of the Jedi before we move on to other things? You should say a few more times.
A few more times.
I'll take that as a no.
No.
All right. So next week, we are talking about the next 3 episodes of Andor. So episodes 7, 8, and 9, which should be good. I've been
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What was with the pause after 9? Like, wait, 9, 10, 11,
Well, because
12.
I was like, I meant to stop at 9, but fuck it, I'm keeping going.
Well, it sounds like you just forgot what came next in the order. So that was good. All right. So yeah, we're doing what's his name? Fucking Andor next week. And then until then, Miss Lopez, are you coming out this week?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Hey, there she is.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, you're looking good this week.
Oh, yeah, I think I brushed my hair.
You look very well rested.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that,
Okay.
but yeah, here I am.
Well, the life of a pop star. I know you're busy.
Yes. Pop? Is that what it is? Is that what I do? Pop star stuff?
Well, you tell me. I mean, it's your life.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
All right. Anyway, what do you got for us today?
Well, I have my reads.
Okay. Good.
But
Good.
I would like to look over the reads real quick.
Okay.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
You couldn't have done this before the show or while you were
No,
getting ready?
absolutely not. I don't have access to the script in the back.
Oh, okay.
It's not a thing.
All right.
Luna Girl doesn't share it with me. She shares it with him.
Oh, right.
That
right.
guy.
And you don't have your own cell phone or? Okay. That's
No. My publicist doesn't like me to have a phone.
yeah.
I get in trouble.
That makes sense.
I go on Twitter. I say bad things.
Yeah, you don't want to get canceled.
No.
All right.
No. I did have a. Did you see me on the video?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
that
Did
was
you
ver-
like it?
I loved it.
Did
It was.
everyone like the video?
And who again is the name of the band? Explicit Noise.
Explicit Noise. What's the name of the video?
With our good
Film.
friend Nick.
Oh yes, with the Nick guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you did a great job.
Nick and his big bald guy and the other guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they all have some level of balding, but who am I?
Hey. Well, call the kettle.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, but there was a music video and it was so cool.
Yeah. In
Luna
fact,
Girl, you should put a link to the video.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Oh, yes. It would be so cool.
Throw it in the chat.
Yeah. I'm in it.
Yes. You play a prominent role. You just see the back of my head for a brief second.
Nick, Dale, and Justin, thank you. I know the names. It's more fun to just pretend to mess it up.
Yeah.
You know, those are the jokes.
Indeed.
That's how this works, Jason.
Oh, I know.
Do you?
But I run this whole
I'm trying
thing.
to be nice to you. Forget it.
Would you
One
just?
time. I try to be nice to you,
All right, I'm done with you.
idiot.
Read the fucking script.
Fuck off.
No,
No.
this is my show and
Is
Dave's
it?
show.
Is it?
Yeah. You roll in here, act like you're the third host.
Well,
Like you.
I think more people want to see me.
You're probably
Do
right.
do we need to take a poll?
No polls.
Poll. Poll.
Are you okay? You sound like you have a hairball. Oh God.
I got it out.
All right, read the goddamn script.
It's not a script. It's the reads. Use the words, Jason. Use your words. Red 5 News. After our show, head over to the live chat of After the Weekend on YouTube, where the crew and special guest Matt Vader from the Salty Nerd will be reading the Triple R comments section. Ooh, that sounds dirty.
Triple comments.
Triple R. instead of triple X? Is that like, it's like R U R?
It's a hard R.
It's hard, all right. The Red 5 Network is now down to 38 podcasts.
I'm 37?
Almost.
Oh, so we got rid of another one this week.
Yeah, we're parsing
Excellent.
it down to the number.
All right, one more. We got to get rid of one more.
One more, sloppy Joe. What? I'm so tired, Jason. I'm so tired.
Yeah, you sound
You
it.
work me to the bone, Jason.
I do?
Yes.
I have you do one thing a week here. What else are you doing?
But to the bone.
I'm sorry that this is so distressful for you.
This stressful. Is
Yeah.
that a word?
Yeah.
Look it up. While you're doing that, learning English.
I can speak it.
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yeah, I'm waiting.
The Collins English Dictionary, distressful in American English. Causing or involving distress.
Yeah. Okay. What? All right. Whatever.
Look, I know you're from Puerto Rico,
No.
but
New Rican.
whatever.
Get it right.
Don't question me on the English language.
Oh, I will.
I've heard you talk.
Ha 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 ha. Red 5 Network is now down to 38 podcasts
I'm 37?
plus one. As Star Wars and Beyond has retired. That's what happened. They retired.
And who was
so
it?
we were shitting all over them, but then they're actually just retired. Star Wars and Beyond.
Okay.
Yes, Star Wars and Beyond.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't be sad. You can still find host DJ, who I think was in the chat, on Tuesday nights on Rogue One Radio. Go to bio.link/red5. That's bio.link/red5. So check out all 38
I'm 37?
plus one podcasts in the network. That sounded weird. English, motherfucker. Cantina Family Happenings. The used and abused will discussing.
Yeah, all right?
The used and abused will discussing Star Wars Tales of the Jedi and more tomorrow night. Join Scott and Kim at 1700, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the YouTube and enjoy. Will discussing. Ah! A booth in the back will be reviewing Week 8 fantasy football matchups. Hey, you know what's funny? This clown over here, the one with the arm
Yeah.
that's up my ass. Yeah, he's about to lose to your wife in fantasy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it's pretty distressful actually.
I just need fucking Dragon Buddy to lose already.
Yeah, he's pretty stressed out actually. It was a
Davis?
it was a bad fantasy week.
Oh,
Yeah, he's taking it out on me. Lots of abuse.
yeah. Oh, God,
He
yeah.
he beats me when you're not looking.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I have so many follow-on comments that I'm just not gonna.
That's not how that works, Jason. So used and abused, we'll be discussing Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. If you at home are suffering from abuse, you should call 911. Abuse in the back, we'll be reviewing our Week 8 fantasy. That's where I was. Week 8 fantasy football matchups from the past weekend. Yeah, Dave losing. Ha 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 ha. Join Dundle Snooch. Brady Big Loving and Lunar Girl Wednesdays at 1800, 6 p.m. Eastern at Daylight Time. Live! Live!
You okay, Miss Lopez?
Need a tasty beverage. God, I wish that worked. So disturbing. Also, oh wait, no, the live exclusively to Cyber Container Group on Facebook. Grab a beer, take off your pants, and don't miss the show. Oh, you could also listen in the shower, maybe get a phone call.
Maybe.
On Wednesday, ATSW The Escape Pod will be reviewing The Fifth Element. Speaking of shower. Wait, what? Boobs. Tune in at 19:05, 7:05 ppm. Oh my God. 7:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for all the shenanigans of Don Della Snooch, Brady McLovin, and Dragon Buddy. And let it be noted that Luna Girl has always written 7:05 p.m. in Hennifer's notes. Yes.
Duly noted.
Yes, she has. I don't know why you made me say that. Is that for other people?
Yeah, maybe some questions have been asked.
19:05. Don Della Snooge and Luna Girl will review Season 2, Chapter 4 of Stranger Things this week. Please join them at Stranger Things Has Happened on Friday at 1900. You know what I'm realizing? It's so weird. I'm like I'm looking at the screen, Jason.
I can see
I'm
that.
looking at the screen.
Yes, as you should be. You're reading.
I'm reading, right? Yeah,
Yes.
with my googly eyes. I'm reading and moving my mouth.
Right?
There is a level of realism here that's not necessary.
I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Does it?
To
Does
me.
that make sense?
Well, I think. I mean, there's a greater discussion to be
Does
had.
it make sense, people? Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
think we just go with it.
The Stranger Things has happened on Friday, 1900, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Luna Girl is way too busy. Big Sweet is reunited with his old band Explicit Noise. Yeah, the noise of explicitity. To celebrate, he made a new YouTube channel and released a new video on it today.
Yes.
I was on it. Check out their teenage dirtbag pictures, one of which has a 9-month pregnant Lunar Girl. She must have tequila. Can you find it? I would hope so. I mean, it's the one with the pregnant girl, unless there's more pregnant girls at the lake house.
I mean,
Which
judging from the
probably-
stories that we
Yeah,
heard,
probably happened.
yeah, that's that.
Don't sit on a couch, you'll get pregnant. I don't think I sat down once.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Yeah. Anyway, 9-month pregnant Lunar Girl. Can you find it? There are also cameos of Darth Roscom, Lunar Girl, and Dragon Buddy, and Miss Hennifer Affleck. Yeah, Affleck.
I still call you Miss Lopez. Is that
Affleck.
that okay?
I prefer Lopez, to
Yeah,
be
okay.
honest.
Yeah.
Because I could dump fat Batman whenever I want.
I mean, nobody thinks it's gonna last, honestly.
yeah,
so,
he can't keep up with the pace.
yeah.
I've established an unrealistic pace.
Yeah, I've heard about the contract.
Yes.
The marriage contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unrealistic for a reason.
Yeah.
This fat ass can. It's either gonna kill him, or I just, I'm happy.
Yeah. Hey, you do you. Or you do Ben in this case. But either way.
Gross. All right. Layman's Terms did not release a new episode this week. Lame. But be sure to subscribe, ding that bell, and select all to receive notifications for your source of ignorance and drunken banter. Yes.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm catching up on a teletype. The Orange and Fett Show dropped episode 55, The Black Cauldron, last week.
I can't believe they're already on 55 episodes.
And dropped episode 56, Black Adam, Halloween. Subscribe to them on Spotify to be notified of some upcoming releases. That's how it's a Halloween. Halloween up. Subscribe.
Are you just reading what's ever on the
Just reading
teleprompter?
what's ever on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
And which, little girl, she did not get much sleep this weekend.
Right. Understandable.
She was doing good things.
Yeah, for sure.
You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you will find our links to YouTube and audio and Patreon, our latest Spotify music mixtape, and all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. Also in our bio, that link. Wait. Also in our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. We have t-shirts and hoodies in a wide variety of designs, size, and colors. There are sidebar containing tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, and pins, just about anything you can imagine. Hey, look, she took the face mask out. Hey!
COVID's over. Hooray!
Woo, it's done. There's no more.
Yep. No more cases of COVID. We beat the virus.
This week, Lunar Girl will be adding some new designs to the mix, so stay tuned for details. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Reviews!
We have a new 5-star review.
Hooray!
It was not specified who they want to read this, so
I think you should read it.
you want me to read it?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Give your voice a little rest.
You know what? You get tired of hearing my voice.
All right. Well,
I'll interrupt as appropriate.
I'm sure you will. This is from Chip Getler, and it is titled "What a Fun and Unique Show." As I'm talking to,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, Miss Lopez here, very very unique.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink. Hang on.
Oh, hey, Dave's here. This is my second time watching / listening to this podcast, and it won't be my last. The community they have built in the chat room is amazing, and some familiar faces and plenty of new faces as well. All are very welcoming. I sat and listened to them talk about the entire Darth Vader Volume 2 comic book series and loved their take on it. If you're looking for a fun show that revolves around Star Wars, pop figures, comics, and...
Hi.
Hi there. Are you trying to read off my phone or what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just seeing what you're doing.
Okay.
In case you need my help, I'm right here.
I do appreciate you.
Well, yeah, I'm here to help.
Very uncomfortable right
That's
now.
weird over here.
You're telling me. Comics and heck, even sports with an amazing guest, Hennifer, at the end.
Me!
This is your kind of podcast to check out. Shame they only allow 5 stars. This needs to be turned up to 11.
11!
Well, why not just make 10 louder and then 10 would be the loudest?
Because I have 11.
Yeah, these go to 11. Very nice. Well, thank you, Chip, for the review. We appreciate it. And if you give us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes or anywhere that you can leave a podcast review, take a picture, send it to Lunar Girl. We will read your review verbatim here on the show.
I'm very scary.
And you can request either Hennifer to read it, or me, or Dave, or one of Dave's many voices between Hank and whatnot.
You know what's the best about Hank?
What's that?
It doesn't require hand puppets.
That is true. I'm sure that
it's just off mic. You know,
I'm sure this can be very taxing.
it's just shoulder burning.
What happened to your hair?
Is that better?
That's much better. Are we almost done here? Miss Lopez?
I'm gonna headbang like I did in the video.
Oh, they love that, by the way.
Teenage headbang, baby. Wait, I've got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby.
It was very good.
Yeah, I know.
See, they should have had you do the voice on the track too, but instead it was Nick's voice. So
Yeah, well, you know, he did a great job. I'm not gonna shit on it at all.
it was good. Yeah, no. They did a great job with the whole
I'm
song.
invited to the next one, so I'm not gonna shit on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Definitely, Dave should not do the video again, though. He's not good.
I think it turned out fine.
He's not good. He's not good at it.
Okay.
Get a helmet fire
All right.
after he gets some sleep.
Yes.
What time is it?
I got 7:57, so it's
Hey!
time to wrap this up. Are you done with your read?
No.
Oh God.
Reviews!
We just did that.
Please write us a 5-star review. Please write us a 5-star review on Apple. Let us, like our friend White Shadow just did.
Yep.
White Shadow, there you are.
Is that a White Men Can't Jump reference? Is that what that's from? Because that's what I think, where Woody Harrelson is like guarding somebody. He's like, I'm your white shadow.
That's a deep cut.
Not for us Gen Xers
Well, I mean,
who grew up on that shit.
That's a deep cut.
I saw that shit in
regardless.
theaters.
I'll bet you did.
I did.
Yeah, you probably like that bitch. That bitch in that fucking movie.
Rosie Perez.
Yeah, Rosie Perez.
You don't like Rosie Perez?
Oh, fuck her.
Wow.
I'll fight that bitch.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll have to dig into your dislike of her at a later
we'll
date.
fight.
Okay, I believe you.
I'll stab her.
I don't know why you had to go straight for stabbing. but-
No, well, because it's a knife. It's fucking, that's more personal.
Yeah. Get to feel their blood, their warm blood
Yeah.
dripping onto your hand.
Yeah, you feel the skin part between the blade.
You know, if you stab a man in the dead of winter, steam will rise from the wounds.
Yeah.
Whatever. Would you finish the read, please?
Stab. Look into my eyes, Jason.
I'm looking.
I
and
know
I'm-
you are. It's
I'm-
weird.
You're-
It's weird the way you look at me.
Can you finish, please? We need to wrap this up.
Like our friend White Shadow just did. Don't have an Apple account? Our Facebook page has a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit done at the end of the pick on Instagram and Twitter. Tell us what you love or even hate about the show. Hennifer Lopez or Hank or Edith or Mama. Or somebody fun. We'll read your review word for word on our next episode. Plus, Luna Girl will send you swag like she did for the White Shadow guy.
Speaking of
Or
which,
gal.
White Shadow mentioned in the chat that his name was came from Turbo the movie, the one about the racing snails. I never saw that,
Oh, neither did I.
but that's where the nickname White Shadow came from. Not White Men Can't Jump, which
See? Too deep of a cut, Jason.
I guess that's just where my mind went.
Because of Rosie Perez.
Sure,
It's because that bitch.
if you say so.
It's a fucking voice. It's her voice. It's fucking annoying.
Are you listening to yourself right now?
No, obviously not. Thanks, White Shadow. Whisper this part. The shadow knows.
I don't think you were supposed to say that.
It's a read anything on a teleprompter, Jason. Don't read whatever's there. All right, I'm leaving.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Lopez. It's always a pleasure.
Bye.
Go.
No, I'm going to stare at you the whole time.
No. You
Yes.
need to leave.
Look at me.
No.
Watch me go.
No.
You know you'll miss me.
Oh my God.
Bye, Jason. Bye.
Why is this my life? Oh, Dave's back.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
You missed a hell of a read.
Oh, I know. I was watching on YouTube.
Yeah. It's good times.
Woo.
So anyway, we talked about what we're doing next week. More Andor.
Please, Eddie.
Week after that, we currently have the Star Wars comics lined up. The actual Star Wars titled comics
Right.
that takes place between Empire and Jedi. We'll read a few of those. Hopefully, they're better than the Star Wars that took place between New Hope and Empire.
Yeah.
Because if they're about the same ilk, then we may.
Then it'll be a short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
see.
they can't all be winners, people.
indeed.
They can't all be Jennifer Lopez.
All right. Well, we have been going for 2.5 hours. It is 8 o'clock. So thank God your game was postponed
Well,
because
we would have cut it short. Jennifer would have been.
a little more.
Yeah,
Quicker on the draw.
Maybe she wouldn't have stared into your eyes quite so long.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird, Jason.
I don't know. I don't know what to say to any of this anymore.
It's taken on a life of its own.
Strange things are happening to me. Strange things.
You had, oh, what's that? That's
Come on. It's right there.
it's not Danny Elfman. It's the fucking why Bud. No. What is it?
Well, it's the same guy who sings "You Got a Friend in Me"
I know it's not. It's not.
because they were both from the movie Toy Story.
I know. Don't make me get her. I'll get her to come, and she'll fucking. She's gonna make you have weird dreams.
Like for some reason, I want to say Michael McDonald, but he's not Michael McDonald.
Oh, you don't even know.
No.
Making me feel bad because I can't fucking remember.
Randy Newman.
Right? What did I? Yeah, I had a. Yeah, no, there was some word in my head that was not even close to Randy Newman. So.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so that's it. That's the show.
That's it.
Weird, awkward way to end the show.
Ba-dum.
Yeah, but that's our thing. It's what we do. So thank you everybody for joining us on this Halloween night. We haven't really addressed that much, but yes, we're recording this on October 31st,
Yep.
and we had a pretty significant amount of people in the chat.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you showing up. Hopefully you were answering trick-or-treaters at the door. If not, then I hope you enjoy your candy. And if you haven't bought any candy, make sure you get to the store and buy it on clearance.
Yeah. Fucking apparently full price candy was expensive this year.
Everything's expensive right now.
Everything's expensive.
Ooh, speaking of Legos, I got Legos to sort.
All right. Well, on that note, we are out of here. Thank you everyone again for joining us. We love you. You are the best. You are why we do this. Stay awesome. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
We got to get glasses in here.
Right?
Yeah.
Even for nothing else, just for clanking.
I know.
Okay, now what do I click?
And we're off.
Yeah, we just need to bring like just a couple of glasses and we'll just leave them in here.
Yeah.
Just for cling.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Maybe we get like steel, like stainless steel, just like
Dong.
sound like bell.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's trying to do that as Jennifer was not a good idea.
Yeah, you look like you were starting to lose it there.
I was not. I'm like, what am I doing?
And like, how are you doing her lips at that point? Because you can't go the.
Because it's a whole thing. It's I'm transmitting. Again, it's I don't understand people that it's we riff through the entire thing. Like I cannot take.
Yeah, we don't plan any of this shit
I
out.
cannot take any credit for anything that she says because it just fucking. It's like, all right, here we go, and
Like-
then whatever's fucking happening is happening.
Like a therapist could watch this and be like, "You are insane.
Yes, and,
You need medication."
and I'm already. Can you imagine if I wasn't on medication?
Oh Jesus Christ! I could not.
It's not what I'm on medication for, but
Yeah. Wow.
it could be very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all of it's get to our private Facebook group if you're not already there and you're watching this. So because there's a couple of good after videos.
Yeah. Kelly, you need to record yourself like shouting Legos so we can add to
The sacred Jedi text.
and throw Legos in there so we can add that to the soundboard.
Okay.
We should do that. She should do several takes and then send me the audio files. I'll pick the best one.
How should you say it?
I don't know. Like, you can do a few different things. You can do it like screaming like Miss Lopez is, or you can say it in like different kinds of voices.
I know. You know what it should be? Honestly, it should be mom walking into the room and seeing all the Legos on the floor.
Uh-huh.
And going like, Legos!
Ooh,
like that.
That's
you
a
know?
good one.
Do it
like almost like a shouting question. Legos!
like perfect, or you just stepped on one. Like you walked into the room and they're not cleaned up, and you step on one, and you're just like, Legos!
Yeah.
Like something. You're creative. You figure it out.
Just do it. Just like hit
Yeah.
record
Dragon Buddy will
and
help you
just
out.
like do like, you know, a dozen takes.
Yeah, do
and
it.
We'll pick one and
The sacred Jedi
Do it.
smash.
oh, hold on, we got that.
The sacred Jedi text.
But hold on,
Oh God.
let's go.
Oh God.
We'll do a rehash. So yeah, when I was on this tab, I hit those three that are supposed to coordinate, and instead it came out as
Do it.
Make the sacrifice.
But we could just go ahead and just do that.
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
I love it. Oh God, I don't know why it's so funny. It just is.
Yeah. Oh, Kristen had a great idea. Actually, just throw some Legos on the floor and then like
See what happens.
Yeah. And then just go with it. That's
don't-
character acting
we're-
right there.
We're not encouraging any self harm for this. I'm scared for my life yet. Oh God!
All right. We're gonna close it up. Thanks
let's
everybody
get
for
logged
sticking
off.
around. That's the end of the after show.
Yeah.
We will see you all next week.
Go Phils.
Indeed.